cross that line, the line where I start, doing what that other guy did.
Who's the other guy?
I got a new grimoire.
Another one? I'm saving my
I
tokens
saw
for
that one
Self-Fire.
earlier, from Discord.
All right,
I'm
we're
saving
live
my
on
tokens.
Twitch. Hello, Twitch.
Hello,
Welcome to D&D.
Twitch.
All right. I got my notes. I've got everything ready to go. I've got the book open. Marauders of Nibenay. This will be part 2. Big, exciting stuff going to happen in this one. All right.
Wait, there's Marauders of Nibenay?
It's just what it's called. Just a title.
I don't want to go there. I'm scared.
All right, so you guys got onto a Rosetta Beetle. A merchant class Rosetta War Beetle, to be exact. It is an undead creature of gargantuan size, a humongous thing. You go inside of its shell, where it's got storage space, tremendous amounts of storage space, and it's got frameworks built around the outside of it that are useful for soldiers that are manning the outside of it with crossbows. So the guardsmen are on the exterior of it on this framework, this catwalk that goes up the outer shell of the beetle, and there's a driver on the front of it, which is this woman, this powerful-looking woman who's scantily clad in this like leather bondage gear, and she's cracking her whip to get the attention of her men and calling out and signaling with her horn and driving this undead creature as you make your way across the desert,
Oh, she's pretty.
traveling to the south. This woman is Liaza. Liaza is a Templar of Nibenay. She is one of the wives of the great Nibenay himself. And she uses all of her psionic and magical abilities to drive this undead war machine as a caravan across the desert at high speed. This tireless creature doesn't need to eat, it doesn't need to drink, and it just moves all throughout the day and the night, making good time across the desert. It's still going to take you at least a week for you to travel from Tyr to Nibenay, and in that week you all have an opportunity to take a little bit of downtime. I would like to go to each person in turn and ask what your downtime activity is going to be. So I'm gonna put turns
on the
Are you
road
able
to
to-
Nibenay in the dead beetle.
So
Where's my?
the beetle that
Where's
I
my
described, you are in the beetle. So, Taurus Maximus, what do you do for a week on the beetle?
Week on the Beetle. I would like to. Is this multiple choice or fill in the blank?
All right, so there is a board in the corner of the
I'm
table,
looking at it right now.
and you can look at that multiple choice table right there.
I can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. I don't want to do that. So
Pit
gambling doesn't
fighting.
sound smart.
You want to
Pit fighting.
get together with the guards and prove you're the strongest of all of them.
Would I make money doing pit fighting? Is there a point?
Yes, you would probably make a decent amount of money.
Okay, I'm done. Let's let's do that. Pit fighting. 3 checks, strength, athletics.
Yep.
Can I rage during that?
If you want to. Seems like something that would help out.
Yeah, I'll rage during that. So I need to make a strength check and athletics, strength, athletics, acrobatics, and a con +1 rolled hit die. How does that con 1 +1 rolled hit die?
Hang on. I'm looking it up here in the book. You get the full details on it for pit fighting. Pit fighting.
My hit dice are doubled. Ooh.
And Ninja.
Your hit dice are
there's no-
12, so you'd roll that.
Last session, I asked if in the city of Tyr, if I was able to find someone that was selling insects, and I was looking for scorpions.
Sure. Easy.
Yeah.
As many as you need.
About 3, and I'm keeping them inside of like a bottle with holes, and I feed them.
Yeah. Sure
This is
thing.
my strength check. 22.
22.
My acrobatics check. Mm. 12. And my con is so my plus 1 per hit die I have.
No. It says that you roll a dice, your D12 hit dice. A bonus equal to a roll of the character's largest hit dice.
Oh, so a D20 plus the D12.
It also says if you want to, you can replace one of these checks with an actual attack roll using your weapon. If you've got a fancy magic weapon, that could be a better roll than one of the others.
Yeah, my acrobatics.
So you want to drop that acrobatics 12. That was shit. You don't need to count that one. You'll make an attack roll instead.
Oh, that was not good either.
Well, it's only a little bit better.
That was my con save.
That's your con save? All right.
My con one, I guess.
All right. Yeah.
But I'm confused because my con is plus 9 on top of that. So do I add the plus 9 to that?
You're making a con check, so you do the regular roll that you would regularly do. It's just that you're adding an extra D12 on top of it.
So a con check is plus 5, so that'd be a 19. That'd be a 19 on that one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make an attack roll instead of my dex save.
I think you're adding the hit dice to show like endurance, right? So if you're a high hit dice thing, you like have more like physical endurance than a smaller hit dice, like a wizard would have.
Yeah, just extra bonus. I got but I have a plus 5 on. So my attack is a D20 plus, and okay. 22. Okay, so 22 for my acrobatics.
Okay. So
22, 19.
So it looks like you were easily stronger than any of the guards on the ship. And your constitution was like in the upper tiers, probably better than everybody on the ship. And your attack blew them out of the water easily. So all in all, you had 3 successes, and you end up winning 200 ceramic pieces as prize from all of the people on the ship.
Yeah! It's okay, guys. I was weak once, too.
Okay.
When
When I was a baby. Hey!
You're rich, man.
Did you know me when I was a baby?
Yeah, we were cousins.
Now, it's not only about your downtime activities. You also have time that you spent on the ship where you have an opportunity to talk to your fellow party members about anything your character would want to tell them about, or to interact with an NPC about something, whether it be some of the guards, the caravan guards, or Lieza, the merchant of House Sham, who's driving this mighty behemoth. She's also on board, and you could try to talk to the captain. So, did you want to do any of that before you pass your turn down to Krias?
Yeah, I want to talk to, I don't know if I talked to everybody about it yet, but I want to talk to Sia.
Yeah.
Yo.
I want to talk to Soul
Yo, what's up?
about my wish from Korganar. Korganot.
Who's Korganot again?
The angel guy that transformed.
Oh.
I want to tell him.
When I talk for a long time, do I cut out or do I sound fine to you guys?
Okay.
Sure, fine.
Okay.
But I want to tell you how Korganar told me that we could have a wish. Did you already do your wish?
We have wishes?
Yeah, you didn't do your wish?
No! thought we just got paid.
We got paid and a wish. Not a wish. They said that's not a wish, but he's gonna do something within his power to help us. One favor. It's a favor. A favor?
You have a favor with Corganard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
I just can't decide what I want. And every time I think of something, Corganard says, I was gonna do that already, so pick something else.
Give me a list.
So I told him to free all the slaves, and he said he was going to do that already. I said, okay. Well, then I told him help all the people of Tyr, with all the little kids and stuff. And he said I was going to do that already. And then I told him to help me, to help the old guy, Arosto, to get me the new weapon that he said he can make me. He said, oh, that's easy. I'll do that already. And now I'm like, I don't know, Corganard, because everything I do is too easy for you. So I can't think of anything hard to wish for. Can you help me?
Why didn't you wish for more intelligence?
I didn't think of that.
Understandable.
I mean,
Hey.
I'm pretty smart.
Hey,
I
Skywell.
mean,
What?
I mean, sometimes I'm pretty smart. I mean, I'm a slave, so like, I mean, I know a lot of slaves, and they were slaves. I'm not a slave, so like, even those guys, they were pretty dumb. I'm smart. I get out of the way. I ain't get whipped. I ain't get none of that stuff. I do what I want, and I was good. But see, I don't know, cause I mean, I'm already strong. You see, I'm the strongest person here. I don't know what to ask for. You can think about it if you want. I can't. I'm getting tired. It hurt my head to think about it more. But
I have a question. One more question before you go.
yeah.
Have you ever been to a school?
We didn't have schools in the army. Wait, I mean, yeah.
I haven't been either. That's it.
I mean,
Schools for have giants? Are you kidding me?
That sounds a bit racist, Ramon.
I feel like I get bored there.
That would be a waste of time.
You
Are
wouldn't
you
like
saying
it.
have
The only time I went to school, I like going for recess. And lunch. Lunch is good too. But they don't feed me enough.
Not really what they do. They have things called lunch and recess. What is that?
You know, recess is where you leave the classroom and you go play outside while everybody else stays inside. And then they try to get you in trouble, but I'm no slave, so I do what I want.
Wait, that's really what recess is? Huh.
I go
I've
play.
known the wisest slaves and the most idiotic nobles. An education in a school does not dictate whether someone's smart or not. And I give a good nod to not Grimhorn.
Taurus.
Taurus.
Yes, Taurus.
Well, I know that I haven't been either. I'm just asking because I want to know which one's like. Have you been? What's your character's name? Skyward?
Orin.
Have you been, Orin?
No, I have not gone to a school. But I've known
But
my
you're not
fair
missing nothing, Warren. You're not missing nothing. They try to make me save the seed and learn. I don't want to do that.
raised eyebrows.
They tried to make me what?
I'm gonna stand and learn.
No, I mean,
Taurus is in class saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I don't want to sit crisscross applesauce. Not me. I do what I want. I go outside and play. Eh, First time we go outside and play, I was like, I ain't coming back in. So, and I was already stronger than the teacher lady.
Yes, I imagine so.
Horse
She
knows.
little elf lady, little elf lady.
He knows
Is it
that
ever
schools is just
She
for
teach me
corporate
nothing.
slaves.
Corporate
Is it ever
slaves.
is it ever too late to go to a school?
Oh noes.
I don't want to go to a school.
Is it ever
Oh
too late?
no, school.
School's for fools.
So, Joe, whenever your character's done with his interactions and
I'm done.
everything, you can hit the turn button at the top of your screen, and it'll
Oh,
pass it to Cruz.
Let me get it.
Wait, there's a
Okay.
turn. When do we have that?
You'll get it.
You get a
It'll
little
show up.
green star next to your name when it's your turn. It was just Joe Dab's turn, and he could pass it.
Thanks.
I'll give.
Thanks,
Oh, I
guys.
see.
I'll give more time. Sky, you can go. I'll do my turn a
Oh.
little later.
All right, then you just
No,
pass it to him then.
I just got in here, so I'm not really knowing what's going on. Except for I wanted to defend. I came to defend the Jolly Green Giant here, the Jolly Giant from. I know.
So,
Yeah.
I
He didn't
never
mean to be a
did
bully.
school. I
but,
never went.
I know. He didn't
I
mean to be a
officially
bully, but
asked,
I sensed it, and so I came to his aid because he's come to mine on a regular occasion.
I'll just say
Whether or not it's
that
actually true.
I went to everyone during the thing because it's been racking my brain, my little brain. And I've been asking everybody for assistance on what I should wish for.
Yeah.
So,
What you should wish for?
what my favor is from Corganard.
Mhm.
So, if anyone has input later on, they think
You
about
have
that
an
kind of stuff,
epic level ally who can give you an epic level favor.
Or epic level. Never mind.
He can do almost
Okay.
anything.
Give
Anything?
my wife giant. No, I'm kidding.
He actually can cast the wish spell, so
Practice
What
of
if I
that.
just say my favor is for you to marry me? What?
that
But-
might
but
be
my character
weird, but I'd roll for it. So,
Roll
Skywell,
persuasion.
just to make things like a little easy at first, like during the week that you spend on the Rosetta Beetle, which of these downtime activities would you like to pursue? It's over here in the corner of the table. There's a nice little list that you can pick from. So basically, when any large stretch of time happens, you can do some stuff as your background thing. It's usually a way to make some money. So take a look at the list and you tell me what you'd like to do during the week that you spend cooped up on this beetle as it shifts and creaks and groans and moves across the desert.
I'm trying to find that card.
It's way in the corner in between purple and pink. There's a couple of big dinosaurs that are parked in front of it here.
Oh, I see now.
Yeah, this thing. So this is the
Okay,
list.
I got it now.
These are the options. They come from Xanathar's guide.
I will need to peruse this a bit if I can pass my turn.
Not everything's going to be available because, like I said, you're cooped up on a little beetle with only a bunch of caravan guards and the Templar wife of Nibenay, who's leading the giant beetle, controlling it.
I did pit fighting with the guards, and I won.
They made a decent
Every
amount of
time.
money, too.
Well, I'll tell you what, my profession, are there any actual kanks and or herd animals coming with us?
Did you guys bring your wagon and
Yeah.
everything and your kanks?
Yeah, we would have probably brought it all with us.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You have the party's kanks. I think there were 2.
I don't know if anybody else is a rancher,
4.
but that's
Oh,
my...
okay, you're up to 4 now, so you got 4 kanks to tend to if you want.
Well, that was kind of my family's background, was a ranching family.
Mm.
So that's something that I would probably set some time aside for.
Okay, then you get 28 kank nectars for your time.
Okay, I'll write that down.
Whoa! What about the ones that I stood?
No, he got all of it. You were too late. He was up bright and early every morning milking those kanks, and you got nothing Nothing for you.
I think something wrong with those kegs. The keg's not giving any the sweet
The
stuff
keg
no more.
nipple runs dry.
Well, I'm sure to give him, give Taurus his daily dose.
He's kind of addicted to the kank nectar.
Maybe he's a
Don't give me any. Don't give me any.
withdrawals. Gotta have withdrawals. Have giant withdrawals.
None for you. None for you.
So that'll be a primary occupation. We can talk about doing some scouting or anything else off into the wilderness later.
All right. So the other thing that I mentioned is that you can also interact with any of the NPCs here if you want to gather information or ask a question of the important one, which is Lieza, the captain.
Well, I presume I'm getting caroused, a bit, or if that's an actual word. But to
Wait,
I'm
Corona?
being wined and dined of sorts by that agent of Nibenay.
So think of it this way: you are on this vessel, right? And there's actually a passenger cabin that you guys are allowed to be in, and all of your stuff and all of your animals is within the compartments of this cabin in different rooms that it's got. And then you interact with some of the crew now and then, like maybe they'll bring you guys food, or you can go out on the deck and you can see people manning the rigging and keeping a lookout and stuff. Because there's railings that you can hang out on and you can watch, and from there you can see where the captain controls everything and guides the ship. So, what do you want to do?
I wouldn't mind starting to learn how to sail this vessel of sorts. This, how the rigging works, how this undead automaton, whatever it is, seems to, or just, wooden automaton or whatever it is, seems to move across the sands.
All right.
So, I'm being just shy of annoying. Oh, well, how does this work? Or sure, I can tie that rope down, and working with the common folk. And then, of course, that agent keeps pulling me aside, saying, the Lord of Nibenay is really not that bad of a guy. Well, wait, guy or gal?
Nibenay is Lord, the Lord of Nibenay.
Nibenay, yes.
She'll refer to him as he, but she doesn't go into much detail.
Okay, and who is the she again? Is there a name for this this agent?
You approach and ask her name. She introduces herself as Lieza, Shadow Bride, Templar wife of Nibenay, merchant of House Sham, captain of the merchant class Rosetta Beetle.
Ah.
Ooh,
Okay.
she
I wrote down
pretty.
half that, and but the moment you said
He's taken.
merchant
Taurus.
house. Oh, Aaron winces visibly. Merchant House of Sham?
House Sham of Nibenay. Nibenay is their sort of like their main capital, and then they have a little merchant house in each other city-state, but Nibenay is the home of House Sham. And she is apparently a high-ranking member in the noble house of the merchant House Sham. And not only is she a high caliber merchant, but she's also
a Shadow Wife.
married to Nibenay himself, the Shadow King of Nibenay.
Right.
Of course, all of his Templars are his wives. He believes in having a lot of wives.
Yeah.
Many hundreds of wives.
Oh. Well, that's a good life, huh?
Yes.
Well, anyway, the moment Liesa brings up the merchant house Sham, I find myself busying with. I don't let that conversation progress much farther that day. I find myself some rigging to busy myself with, or some joint that needs oiling, or what have you.
So when you approached her, she kind of has a spiel she gives to everybody. She knows that you are traveling adventurers, probably mercenaries of some sort. She'll tell anybody who will listen that she wishes to hire adventurers to infiltrate an organization known as the Vale Alliance that operates in every city. These are criminal scum that need to be brought to justice. And there's a festival in Nibenay, and everybody on the caravan here is looking forward to attending this festival. It'll be a tremendous and delightful festival, and the cargo of fresh fruits and beverages and wines that she's bringing from Tyr to Nibenay will accentuate the festivities and aggrandize the Lord Nibenay, who is great and wonderful as a leader. And
Clearly quite generous.
she'll tell you that she is offering a reward of gems worth hundreds of ceramic pieces for any information about these vile wizards, these criminal wizards that operate. And
Yeah.
and also
Yes, about that. Well, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
And also, there is word of certain crystals of respectable size, and she sort of like shows like she was measuring a fish. She shows like at least like a foot in diameter, like a decent sized crystal. She's talking about. Any information about wizards or the possible retrieval of a certain crystal of respectable size, I'd gladly offer you a number of gems. At least 5 gems would probably be a tidy sum for an adventurer such as yourself, would it not?
You know, it always depends on the crystal, and it depends on the gem, with a smile and a wink. But I do want to ask, what did these vile criminals, this Veiled Alliance, what have they done against Lord Nibenay?
Ah, they're terrorists and thieves. They have been stealing what belongs to Nibenay. They have also infiltrated where wizardry is forbidden except that which is done by Nibenay and his Templar wives. So the spellcasters, they needed to be rooted out. The illegal spellcasters are a dangerous lot that cause ecological disaster wherever they go. They don't have the law behind them, making what they do just and righteous.
I agree with her personally.
Yeah. And she's dressed in her minimal leather bondage gear, adorned in various bits of iron and sharp studs and cutting blades and things. She looks like a dangerous woman, and she's very emphatic about how Nibenay is the law, and that anybody who opposes Nibenay, like this Veiled Alliance, needs to be dealt with in the harshest possible way. No mercy, kill them all, she says.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time and your custom and your generosity.
All right.
But I'm very fascinated about this vessel and how it works. I want to learn more from this. This is it a slave? I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's a slave.
Oh, do you want to just talk to some of the regular deck crew during the day?
I very much do.
All right. You find yourself a sailor on the dune seas, and you ask him about his trade. He'll show you some of the rigging and how you can climb around on the framework, the trellises that run around the outer HUD. What's the word for this? The outer shell of the beetle. The beetle's gargantuan. It's enormous, and it's got all of its little legs that are skittering on the bottom and kicking up dust as you plow ahead at a consistent speed. And it's almost like a snow plow pushing sand and debris out of the way as it just chugs forward. And there's almost like a large building built on and inside of its shelled back. So it extends higher, like an extra floor above where all of the passengers are crewed, and then down within the shell of the beetle itself. He'll show you the interior has been hollowed out. The weight reduction aids in its movement speed, and he also shows where there's cargo space, and you can see that the cargo hold of the beetle is just overflowing with barrels and tubs and casks, and huge stacks of iron bars. He'll explain
Wow.
that the main trade of House Sham is delivering iron bars from the iron mines of Tyr in the mountains to the distant from Tyr to Nibenay. So this is the iron shipment that was promised to Lord Nibenay himself, and that's why.
So I can't really steal from that.
If you steal from this, you'll be in big trouble because this is being personally delivered by Nibenay's wife, and this is an important diplomatic trade between Tyr and Nibenay. So this is like a security payment that ensures that the city-state of Nibenay will not go to war with Tyr this year because of this delivery of iron.
Okay, so not gonna mess with that. Step one. Step two is, in terms of your question about what I'm doing with my time, I want to spend, well, as much as I can between ranching and if there's extra time left over. We'll call it the training one. I know there's not enough time here to actually learn the skill of Sailor, but learn as much as I can about how this device works.
All right.
Third,
so
step three is, I'm thinking. Oh, go ahead.
So let me just say, it says it's 25 GP per week. It's actually ceramic pieces in Dark Sun. This is from another game, regular D&D. And then what you would do is on your character sheet, just make a note that you've trained in a particular skill and how much time you dedicated to it. In this case, it would be 1 week. And then when you do eventually get to the required 10 weeks, you've gained it.
Got it. And the third thing is, I'm envisioning this device as being a sort of like wood and chitin or carapace or bone construction, kind of like those folding and bending wooden devices. Have you ever played Last Oasis? There's all those kind of
I have not.
scarab-like wooden constructions that have the ability to move across, like they have them in real life, that they go across the beaches sometimes. It's like a big complicated device that can walk by the power of the wind.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen those.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm envisioning here. I don't have a picture on hand to scan from the internet, but that's what I'm imagining that this device kind of is. It's a gargantuan version of that.
Okay, so if you ask the captain what the captain will say about the Rosetta War Beetle, she'll tell you a story. I had those Gith raiders on the run. The beetle's powerful mandibles were crushing the Gith into pulp, and my archers were decimating those that fled. As I stood there at my post behind the great beetle's head, I contemplated wiping out every last one of those filthy raiders. But at the moment of my complete victory, disaster struck. I never saw the Gith who threw it, but a spear flew past my head, close enough for me to feel the wind on my face. It was a near miss for me, but not for my defiler, Karapu, standing just behind me. The spear split his skull and washed the deck crimson. And with him falling, so stopped the damn Rosetta. It was his foul magic that controlled the cursed beetle, so with its master dead, it would no longer move. When the Gith realized this, they stopped running. Instead, they turned and laughed at me. So she tells you how she learned to control the beetles herself after that day, and how it's a practice of necromancy and defiler magic, and unfortunately it costs the lives of all the plant life within a vast distance, so it requires a pretty large field of trees to power one of these constructs being created. But once it's been created, it can be controlled by a pilot who knows the proper psionic and magical rites in order to control an undead beetle of this sort. Of course, certain people that are sensitive to undead find these things quite terrifying. In fact, it has a frightful presence. When you're outside of the creature, you can easily become overwhelmed by how huge and unnatural an undead beetle of gargantuan size is.
But this is fueled by vegetation?
Oh yeah, you need like a grove of trees, at least 30-foot diameter, and this thing decimates them. The creation of the beetle, the undead creation, just kills all the plant life in an area and animates the beetle using the
I heard
magic.
the creation, but the maintenance of this beetle also requires vegetation.
No, it's been made permanent. It is a permanent construct undead. It's got both properties.
Is the how big is the beetle? Is it as big or bigger than a mechalot, or is it smaller?
Bigger than a mechalot.
Ooh.
Like I said, it's got a building built on top of it. Think of the sand crawler from Star Wars that the Jawas hide in.
Yeah. Yeah. House size for sure.
But it's a beetle.
Okay. That helps a lot, actually, tremendously. I have a lot to think about right now, so let me pass on if I can.
Sure. All right. So, Rara, Soul.
Yo.
We can retroactively say that you had wished for something if you can think of that wish, but Korganar did offer everybody a favor.
Wait, can I call on it like anytime I see him, or is it just like that one time?
He gave the party a sending stone that they can use to contact him.
Oh, then I'll just hold it.
Okay.
While I'm on the mecha, I'm just gonna do, you know, just gonna do a good old jig, good old scallywag.
Some
I don't know
bard.
what I'm exactly thinking.
Some barding.
Yeah, I'm gonna
try to make some money as a bard. That's fine.
Yes, sir. D20 plus 11.
I'm sure the crew of the Rosetta Beetle will be quite happy during their downtime that you're doing a little pirate jig.
25.
25. Well, that's a really good pirate jig. Everybody is quite impressed.
As they should.
I will dance. I will dance to your music.
Every time you like a little jig with me, it's like don't. They're not dancing. They're just trying to stay alive. Balance. We have to keep balance.
We can dance if we want to.
My party can dance if I want to. Okay.
I forget how that works. Do you make like 25 ceramic pieces or something? Is that how that works?
For a performance?
Yeah, if you get a good roll, I think you get 25.
That's my dance roll, 18. Plus, I don't know, dex or something.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
I think the scale is like you can earn your room and board, and then if you do well, you earn your room and board plus 25 ceramic pieces.
Well, then I'm not really dancing to make money. I'm dancing for
I don't. Unless you have some rather large breasts, the crew of this ship probably will not pay you for dancing.
No.
Unless I have rather.
But I'm supporting. I'm a support dancer.
I'm gonna practice dancing. Can I practice dancing?
No!
Sure. You might cause a minor earthquake stomping around on this ship.
Is it a performance check?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this music so much. I had my mouth full of food, but I'm about that. I'm about that dancing life.
Dancing.
12. A 12.
Oh no.
That's enough to not damage the ship, right?
It's fine. It is a very tough ship. It's got damage resistance. Even if you stomp hard, you'd have a hard time damaging it.
I messed up my knee permanently from dancing at a goth club back at Gen Con. Yeah. I made the concrete.
There's so many things wrong with those. That sentence. I'm just kind of like, I don't know where to start.
Hey, I've attended a few goth clubs myself. They're kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, so you perform during the week. Everybody enjoys the performance. Did you want to interact with any of the NPCs or the captain of the ship or any of that?
So nobody's paying me?
The crowd is paying you.
Yeah, the crowd. The caravan. The caravan troops. 25 ceramic pieces.
You get the extra fruit. You get the first choice of fruit and vegetables on it.
I want all of the pineapple.
I throw a banana on the stage, be like, "Here's my banana."
That's exactly how you said it, and you can't take it back.
Hey, I throw you a ceramic piece.
Thank you. Wait, that was you, man? Like I said, like this is in character. Wait, that was you. Oh, thanks again.
They would throw more money at you, but they're recently made poor from their competition with a rather large half-giant. They all lost their arm wrestling contests and their wrestling matches.
I did kind of take all the money.
Oh, they're already broke. No.
Foolish humans.
What is there to do as a bard? I can't steal. I'm not a rogue. I've already performed. Is there anyone important?
Lieza, the captain, the Templar of Nibenay.
He's the only person important?
You don't want to talk to her, I know.
I was gonna talk to her.
You could try.
I'm trying to get favors from Nibenay, like just some political stuff. That'll be like a carouse check, or do I just say stuff in character?
It's RP. What do you say to the wife of Nibenay, the Templar of Nibenay?
What's her name again?
Lieza.
Hello, Lieza. How's it going? Ending this on Beetle, right? Is there a name for it?
I'm looking forward to the festivities. We'll soon arrive in the great city-state of Nibenay, my home.
Nibenay. Should I say I've been there? I've been there. It's a great place.
Ah, indeed.
Yeah, so it's like, what exactly do you do in the city-state of Nibenay?
Well, mostly I am a member of House Sham. As a member of the long-standing merchant class, we make sure that goods are carried across the desert in a timely fashion and are purchased at a good price. We make sure that Nibenay is prosperous and wealthy by ensuring that our cargo of agafari wood and pottery and fine sculpture is delivered from Nibenay to the rest of the world. We're basically civilizing the uncultured barbarians of the world with our fine sculpture and our artistic craft. Nibenay being the home to some of the greatest sculptors and craftsmen that the world has ever seen.
Could have shortened that, but okay. So how long do we get there exactly?
It'll only take a few days. The speed of my Rosetta War Beetle is consistent, so it should take 7 or 8 days, give or take.
How the hell did you even get this thing?
During our conflict with the sorcerer kings of the other city-states, Lord Nibenay thought it wise that we bring to bear some powerful siege weaponry. But when there's not a war going on, we need to maintain our weapons of war, and so we've turned these Rosetta War Beetles into a bit of a business. We've converted and streamlined the chassis to carry more cargo than would ordinarily be carried in time of war. In time of war, these would be bristling with armaments and have an armory for the carrying of various troops, like a personnel carrier, so that it could breach the walls of a city and unload its troops into the heart of a city.
Do all these carvings hurt the damn thing?
Hurt. Oh, this thing's been dead. It's been dead a long time. You sit amongst the dusty bones of a long dead being. And animated by dark magics that prove the might and glory of Nibenay.
That is rather depressing.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happened to Tyr?
She had heard that there was a revolution and that the Lord Cleric of Tyr was weak and that he was defeated. She's only surprised that the Auric army didn't conquer the place. Surely the Tyrians must be resilient to repel such a mighty horde.
Yeah.
I told him they weak.
Yeah, he was a real bitch. So what's your story? What exactly do you like? Where are you from?
Nibenay, born and bred.
There's no tragic backstory. Interesting. You're the first person I met who doesn't have one. You're the first person I met who doesn't have a tragic backstory.
She thinks about it. She thinks about it for a moment. She says, "Well, there's not much to tell, really. She was born into House Sham. She sort of like learned about the business until she was about 12 when she was married off to Nibenay himself. And then she learned to be a Templar for a number of years until she came of age and was graduated as a Templar. And now she basically does whatever missions her master requires of her."
That's refreshing. Everyone back here has either been a slave or has some type of tragic backstory I don't know about.
She has always lived a life of nobility and privilege. She's never known anything but the most opulent wealth. She's got perfectly smooth hands. She's never had to do manual labor of any kind.
Rich, you say?
Oh yeah, she's quite rich. In fact, she will say, like she said to everybody else, that she's offering these fat gems that are worth at least 100 ceramic pieces each. She'll give you 5 of them if you can give information leading to the Vale Alliance of Nibenay, so that they can be crushed for the glory of Nibenay.
How much for everything on them?
If you could provide enough damning information that we could totally crush the entire organization, I would double it. I would give you 10 gems. It's 1,000 ceramic pieces.
Huh. I was just kidding, of course. It was a hypothetical per se. But yeah. Names. So wait, do people in Dark Sun normally have a last name?
Wait,
Not always.
So wait, what does she have to do to get 1,000
ceramic pieces and 10 gems? Snitch on a whole Vale Alliance to be ridiculously easy for me.
It's the usual sort of dichotomy when you enter a city-state. You can either side with the Vale Alliance, who are revolutionaries, or you can side with the Templars of the city-state, who are working against the Vale Alliance. So it's like the preservers versus the defilers. It's like the main conflict of the world, and it's happening in every city. And she's sort of like the quest giver for the Templar side, which you could side with if you wanted to make some quick money and help out Nibenay, who you've helped in the past and does have a rather friendly disposition towards the party. He's never done you guys wrong.
Okay. Well, my name is Soul, no last name included. Remember that. And that's it.
Okay. Long. Unless Skywill, are you ready? Do you want to go back to you?
Wait, didn't Grimoire never get to go?
I've just been updating my character sheet of all the things that were said here.
Or wait a minute, it was Creus that we skipped over. Creus, what about you?
I spend my week in spirituality.
Squirtly Dan?
All right, you find a corner and you do the 5 daily prayers.
Are you meditating on the ride? Come on, bro.
And I'm taking some hallucinating drugs the entire week. So essentially.
Yes, crazy religious. He takes drugs.
Yeah.
And goes to the
going on a trip in his favorite rocket ship.
So I can have a vision of brass to see a flame.
I've seen God.
I want to see creatures of that world. I want to see if my God will offer me visions of the elementals and the creatures that lives in that world.
All right, I need to know 2 things. One, how many drugs do you take, and the result of an interreligion check, or a charisma persuasion check. Your choice.
A religion. Fuck charisma. And how much drugs? A reasonable amount of mushroom.
Okay.
I don't want
A
to start
reasonable
running
amount.
around and catch the giant beetle on fire. because I lose my mind.
Yeah, I imagine a fire cleric in the throes of like a drug trip might cause a lot of
Yeah.
accidental fire.
And I try to maybe even try to speak with the little fire elemental that I have trapped in that little box. That gives me maybe I can follow like have communication through it, and maybe
In your orb, in your elemental grenade.
No. I have this box that gives me a +1 to my checks, and there's like an elemental trapped inside. It's
Ah,
like,
all right.
and also with my lantern that has the eternal flame and has the map of brass as well. I see if maybe one of these items gives me an avenue. And I'll ask actually, Sia, could you give me inspiration?
Where wait, what will happen if I do? I'm giving it to you. I'm just confused why.
He'll add a dice.
For bardic inspiration while I'm taking drugs.
You get like stab boost for taking all these.
Yeah, and guidance as well.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Singing
I
this.
only-
You don't have one song. Welcome to Spine. Welcome to
It gives me a good like drug type of beat in the background.
Welcome to Squidward's Tiki.
You could be like one of the ayahuasca shamans, all in there.
Yeah, I'm doing exactly that. Welcome to Squidward's Tiki.
I'm gonna roll like the bonus dice check first, so I can add it to the total roll. So I get the +8, and then one second. We did level up to level 9, huh? So get sweet. So an increase on my check.
Yes.
Do I have any other bonus except for my standard religion check?
No.
All right. Let's do it. I get a 27.
Yeah, if you were on hallowed ground in a temple of some sort, maybe, but not here.
Yeah, like I'm on a beetle.
An unholy beetle.
Yeah, exactly. With a Templar on board. But I still got a 27.
27, that's a good roll. All right. Make sure I make a note of this.
No ambulances are needed, but you might have to clean up the vomit.
All right, let me look up something real quick.
So since we don't have our guy that sells weed all the time,
We don't have our
maybe-
dealer.
Yeah. Can Morg, being the druid, be my drug dealer? Growing some.
What about this big fat drug dealer?
He's a druid,
I
up to him.
give you some good berries.
All right, Krios, during your trip, during your religious experience, you go in your mind to the plane of fire where you speak to the elementals and you commune with the fire. And the wisdom that you come back with is that in Nibenay, each of the elemental devotions is well represented. Within the city, clerics of earth and fire are the most respected, though the dangerous fire clerics are feared and watched by the Templar wives. In the fields that surround Nibenay, those who serve air and water are considered somewhat more important than their peers. Visiting clerics can generally find comfortable lodgings within the city by seeking out their local counterparts. So you receive sort of a vision quest from the Lord of Fire telling you to seek out other fire clerics who are respected within the city.
Good to know. Didn't we kill a cleric, or we captured a cleric of wind in that city too?
I thought that was of Earth. No, never mind. You're right. It was wind.
Yeah, I think it's in the city, and I converted a couple peasant that we saved that we did not destroy. We kept them alive, and I wanted to show them that the Lord of Flame was superior. So I'll spend kind of my week like that, and I'm not gonna be like showing myself around like Templars and things like that too much.
Okay, you do not talk to the Templar because the Vision Quest tells you they wouldn't trust you.
Yeah, and you know they're all a bunch of dangerous a-holes, anyways.
True, very true. I guess that just leaves Longer James with Morg on board the Rosetta War Beetle.
I want to ask one of the guards who are playing gambling cards if they would teach me some card tricks. Maybe they know some ways to like hide cards up your sleeves or something.
All right. Nobody on board is especially good at cards, but you find competent card players, so you could practice for a week towards learning the skill of like a gambling set of cards.
Oh, some card tricks.
If you already have that proficiency with gambling set, then it would be some form of specialization, like whatever you'd want, like card tossing or a card trick, like a magic trick of some kind. You could specialize in a number of ways. It's really up to you.
I'd like to pull a card from his ear.
And I would pay them 25 ceramics?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can count that as a week of training in that.
Well, I could train him in that.
Yeah, that works too if you have skill. You might have more skill than the crowd here. They only had a 14.
I rolled a 3, but that goes up to a 12, so...
It's not really a roll. It's based on, like, in order to train somebody, you have to have proficiency in the skill, and then you need to have a higher skill than they do for you to train them.
Well, I've got sleight of hand. So does that count, or is it a gambling thing?
It's actually proficiency with a gambling set, which would be either cards or dice. It's like a tool set proficiency.
I take that back.
You're not proficient in them?
No, I was gonna just do sleight of hand tricks.
Oh.
I have proficiency in gambling sets.
Can I train in a proficiency or not a proficiency, but
somebody who already did a downtime activity though,
skills?
you're busy, so you wouldn't be able to help him. But he can learn the card thing from somebody who's just on the crew.
And then I do want to I want to talk to the Templar lady of Nibenay. I want to ask her, so how does it work being a wife of the Lord Nibenay? Do you guys actually like? Does he love any of you? Like, does he have a favorite?
She'll say that it's complicated. As a wife of Nibenay, they don't really consummate the way a marriage would normally be consummated. She's married to Nibenay at the age of 12, and then she never really interacts with Nibenay. She's trained by his servants and staff to be sort of like a super soldier. So she's like basically a child soldier that's been married directly to the warlord himself. So they don't have any allegiance to any husbands or children that could get in the way of their allegiance to Nibenay himself. So, and they develop an almost like religious devotion to Nibenay, where Nibenay is like a god, and he in fact gives them like the way that a divine cleric would gain spells by praying to a god. They pray to Nibenay, and Nibenay gives them powers and spells, in addition to also gifting them powerful magic items that he's crafted over the thousands of years that he's been alive. And then And then they also act as like a private elite guard for Nibenay when, on the very rare occasions when the city goes crazy and Nibenay needs to show up to lay down the law. he will show up personally, surrounded by his wives who act as his bodyguards when he goes out in public. So they act as like the honor guard, but they're not like wives. She does like the little quote finger wife things when she says like wives, like for reasons that you don't need to know.
Does he actually love any of you? Damn.
How old is?
Do
how
his
old is
wives
the
love
ASAP?
him?
No, I just imagine that
Do you love him? Do you, or is it just like a more of like a power respect thing?
She loves Nibenay. It is fanatical love, religious love for Nibenay. Yeah.
It's like a nun and Jesus, you know.
All right.
Yeah,
Fair
she
enough.
is like a battle nun, a Warhammer style battle nun. That's her. She'll do anything for her emperor.
And
I
clad in
understand.
scantily in leather. A leather-clad a scantily clad leather battle nun. Yeah, good job.
Interesting, Laura. Okay.
She's gonna ask you about nature. She can tell that you're a druid of some kind. She respects you and your protection of nature. She's curious how things have been hard for you in the sort of apocalyptic wasteland that the world has become.
It is very difficult to find anywhere where I can use like plant growth or anything like that, because there needs to be things around that are already living for me to do some of those things. Can't really preserve things that don't exist or are already dead. So it is troublesome, but it's nice when it does have its perks at the same time of finally finding rare things. There is a joy in the scarcity of it, of finding those pockets of nature as well. Although I still wish there was more nature around to enjoy for everyone.
So she says, I've seen the bounty of Tyr. Your fields are just growing tall and strong, and the amount of yield and harvest that you've had is plentiful. And I hope for the same for Nibenay, so I hope that you will visit the fields of Nibenay and help the plants grow there as well. It would do a lot for the city, which has had some hard times and some unrest when the hungry citizens go without in the poorer parts of town. Sometimes it causes trouble for my lord Nibenay, and I would appreciate if you could alleviate the miseries of the disgusting poor so that they don't cause any trouble for my great master.
Yes, I would love to help all the masses of people. If we are indeed in the town for a few days, I wouldn't mind stopping by the fields of your great city.
And then she'll also tell you about how they're hunting the Vale Alliance and looking for large crystals, and the amount of money you could earn for any information that leads to the capture of Vale Alliance members or the retrieval of such a crystal could earn you a decent sum of money, 500 ceramic pieces worth of gemstones, and she'll show off she's got a big bag full of gemstones. Fat ones, not like the little gemstones you usually find, but big fat gemstones.
He's thinking about.
I will tell them what I think is that they already know, but also something that they might know, but still won't be super harmful to the organization. I'll tell them there was a battle in the city. There was a battle in the city of Uruk, and there was a building that was recently blown up, and there was a tunnel in there that led outside of the city. They were probably using that as a hideout, so you might want to check out Uruk.
She'll
Or
tell you
around
she
that
doesn't
area?
really care much about the dealings in Uruk. She only really wants to make sure that Nibenay is safe, that the law of Nibenay is enforced. Whatever terrorists in other cities do might actually be beneficial. Like if they're attacking Hamanu, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, basically. So, but if you know
Okay.
about the dealings of the Vale Alliance in Nibenay, come back to me and I will give you a reward for sure.
I'll be back there. I have to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, now's a good time to go take a little break. My coffee cup is empty, so I'm going to get some more caffeine. So let's regroup in several minutes, if that's cool. All right.
Mm-hmm. How's everybody doing?
I'm gonna go get refill my jug of water. Be right back.
On a blindfold? How did Long or James put on a blindfold? That's interesting. I'm doing okay. I should have made this quiz for tomorrow, but I am delaying on that.
Oh, for school.
Yeah. For classes tomorrow. I want to give a test on Friday, but I need a review for them first.
You teach what, physics? You said?
Yeah. Yeah. The south side of Chicago.
What level?
So juniors and seniors. But it's really basic level, because it's for everybody. All students. Trying to keep my friends from quitting the jobs. And myself.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, though? Enough about me. What's going on?
I'm on the road. I'm doing risk assessments for food manufacturers.
Okay. Risk
Yeah.
assessments.
Yeah, I work in the pest industry.
Ah.
So I go tell big food plants what kind of potential risk they're in, and give them recommendations, and evaluate the programs and everything. Get them to be ready for audits and all that fun stuff.
I'm surprised, but I haven't had it since I moved in.
You haven't had
Weird.
what?
Any like bugs?
Oh,
Like any pests?
it's just a matter of
We've
And
had
then the
ants like
ants,
crazy at
or
my school. And my house, actually. But we put up some ant traps, and we're pretty much good by now.
yeah. There's tons of factors, just the geography where you're at.
my mom's house. I mean, they had problems before, and a lot of other places around here. We're in the sand hills of so.
I'm back.
Yeah.
All right. So the next step is the arrival. You have arrived at the city of Nibenay. You can see it on the horizon, and then shortly after that, you arrive, and they lower the gangplank so you can disembark from the Rosetta War Beetle onto a stone dock that sticks up out of the sort of like dune, the sandy dune. And here you are. You're at the West Gate.
Question.
Yeah.
As a Kank rancher, a sickle would not really be the right weapon, tool-turned weapon. Would whips work on Kanks?
Yes.
Like what?
Anything that would work on a horse will work on a Kank.
Okay, then I guess that's gonna be my weapon. Is that I got a sidebar of that.
Are they insect-like though?
They are insects, yeah.
Right. That's why it was kind of shocking to me that a whip would be what they do, because they don't really have. I mean, I imagine they don't have much pain receptors on their skin. They don't really have skin.
They don't really have skin. They have an exoskeleton.
Maybe it's the vibration. I don't know. I mean, I guess there could be alternative ways, but I can't imagine that. If you wanted to be scientific about it, it would probably be a stick with a pheromone on the end of it that gets it to turn left or right, or maybe like one that makes it stop or go.
Okay, I'm down with it.
But it doesn't necessarily matter. It's just use your imagination. It is what it has to be to make it work.
I'm writing that down. I like this idea. Pheromone stick.
Sure. All right, so here you are. You are at the West Gate. What do you want to do? You can hear the sounds of revelry and fireworks exploding in the sky overhead. There's music playing, and you can hear it over the walls of the city from the outside.
A sly smile develops across my countenance, and I say, "It's time for us to join this party, would you say?"
I'd like it if you guys would put your figurines on the board here at the West Gate so I know where you're physically located from here on in.
I'm with the party brigade.
Why do I have
someone
skip?
put me next to the party man himself?
Happened to my figure. Oh, there it is.
Can I use my new figurine? It's not infused though.
No. We can fix it. Let's see here.
It's been months since we last had a party. Let's go.
How many hit points?
I think I'm at 66 now.
Do you want to have any other stats, resource, extra?
No.
0 and 0. All right. Some adjustment will be necessary, but there it is. The new and even more fiery Gramorn, the Fire Cleric.
Yeah, sweet.
Twice as fiery and twice as big.
You've leveled up even more in your warship, Gramorn.
Shooting firebolts into Urin's anus.
How do I get those jalapenos out of my butt? But also,
lots of milk.
Is it holding Alt to change size, to scale?
Plus and minus rescales things.
There we go. Gotcha. Now I can be in the right size. The same size as everybody else.
question is, do we have a soul? What happened to soul?
Everything was moved kind of on the side, I think.
No one has a soul. Haha.
I see your old Grimorn over here. I see Keldor's Echo. I might use that.
I can respawn a new one if needed. It might be like on another table. It could be on the tier map.
So we leveled.
You guys should be
Yes.
level 9.
I'm
All right.
going to roll.
I'm gonna pack the map so nobody touch anything.
Oh,
All our characters are gone.
I'm gonna look at the tier map, see if anybody left their stuff there. We could go to that. Grab it. I don't see anybody's figurine here. Was it on a different board? Was it on the little Oasis map still?
Soul was, last time I saw him in the town, he was in the bar area. I'll just bring in like a new one of this. I don't know, it always does something weird with infused characters.
Yep, we're missing him. He's gone.
I just spawned a new one. The figurine is right on the map now. Confused as well.
All right, I'm back.
Hello.
Yo. Everyone else back yet?
Yep.
Yeah, we're all here.
So, how do they
Yeah.
party in Nibenay?
They party hard.
What
wanna
is
like
their
that.
custom? How do they party hard?
How much alcohol is too much alcohol?
Where's Magus?
Are people throwing up in the streets? Are they partying that hard?
That's a good sign if they are.
I'll read off the
Based on
description
my
in a
looking
moment.
up of trying to get images
Yeah.
of Liesa, I think that everyone is handed a ball gag on the way in.
I found his character. I found him.
What is wow? Whatever's loading is. There we go. What was loaded? Almost broke my computer.
All these
Maybe it's just
figurines here.
Yeah, maybe it's just tabletop being tabletop.
I loaded a
I haven't-
figurine for Liesa, and I loaded a figurine for the half-giant soldiers that are patrolling the streets. So,
Which one of
Nibenay.
these is liaison?
This is Liesa. She just arrived with you guys here. She's very rich, and she's wearing a very fine dress.
That's not what I heard she was wearing.
Yeah, she had bondage gear out in the desert, but she's a noble, and she's going to put on some nicer clothing after she can clean off the dust of the desert. It is a party after all, so she's putting on a fine party dress to look proper for the festivities. And you got half-giant soldiers that are patrolling the streets all over the place, so definitely don't commit any crimes. You will face the long arm of the law from one of these guys.
Wait, what was the city that like people dress more naked if they're higher up? Is that this city or was that Gulg?
That wasn't I here?
That was here, I think.
I thought that was here.
Yeah, probably.
So you telling me we should all just strip nude? Is that what I mean?
We should have loincloths.
But I mean, like, we must be the richest of the rich if we're just butt ass naked, right?
No, then you're just homeless because you can't even afford a cloth.
Don't you have like a disguise self or something like that?
Oh no. They're
Well,
gonna know I got all the money, huh? I'm an unarmored barbarian with a loin.
You're gonna walk up to you
Oh
like,
no.
homeless men are gonna continuously ask you for money and things. What's your alignment?
Good.
We need money. Here you go. We need money. Oh boy. We need money.
Oh no. Well, I don't like the part with my shiny stuff, and that's a good reason. That's funny. So, Taurus is really the noble here, huh? I like it.
Okay. The Starlight Pageant is a wonderful event in the city of Nibenay. As the crimson sun falls beneath the horizon, the gates of the Sorcerer King's sanctuary open up and dozens of female dancers called Aspara pour into the streets. As they move down the high road towards the Reservoir Gardens, crowds of people join the celebration. At last, amid the pounding of drums and the blowing of great horns, they enter the gardens and begin a series of performances that promise to last until dawn. Dancers spin and leap, acrobats doing their performances, hoisting each other into the air, forming human pyramids of sweaty, oiled people, flipping and twirling through the air as fireworks explode, and celebrants dance and drink in the streets. A great revelry as everybody takes tremendous enjoyment in the festivities that rarely happen. There are hawkers selling their wares, screaming, "Sugarweed! Get dried sugarweed!" There are gamblers and people doing shell games with cards saying, "Pick a card, any card." There are old crones sitting over crystal balls saying, "Fortunes, portents, learn what the stars say about your future." There are men taking bets on street fights between tough competitors.
Oh.
Place your bets, Starlight Gladiators, win, place death. So there's a cacophony of voices as people cheer and shout, and the throngs of people blockade the street in all directions, making it nearly impossible to progress in any direction. So,
I'll have what he's having.
that's your description.
Fantastic imagery.
You're in
I
the
want
city.
some sugarweed. I want my fortune told, and then I
Yeah,
want
that's
to go
what I'm
fight in
saying.
a gladiator tournament.
And I want all the alcohol. How much? Yes.
All right, Nibenay's alcohol is pretty much the standard price. If you look at the item list, it's gonna be all the foodstuffs that are available there.
How much alcohol is too much
Wait,
alcohol?
what is sugarweed?
I don't know.
I thought it was just narcotic.
Don't even know. I
Is it
imagine it's probably a delectable treat.
Is it organic?
It's artificial. I'm sorry.
Right.
Druid disapproves.
It's all fructose. All fructose and glucose.
Hmm.
You know what it is? It's sugar made from THC plants.
I want some of that if it is.
Right.
Okay, it's a candied fruit. You can get 2 for a bit, so you get a bag of 20 for a ceramic piece, I think.
I will get a bag of 20 and
Yeah.
share it amongst my group and be like, "Ooh, look, I got snackies."
All right, they are very sweet. It's a tasty candy for kids.
Can you smoke them?
No.
Can I get like
Okay.
mini donuts?
I'm imagining he's got like the he's trying to be cool with it, like when we were kids, with the
exactly like that.
There's
chalk candies.
there's somebody distributing baked goods. You can buy pastries made from kank honey. They cost 7 bits.
Actually,
I'll get some of those. I'll get 7 bits.
I imagine that there's probably a hookah kind of type thing going on somewhere. I could get a hookah.
I'll give Torin a kank honey pastry and be like, here, you missed out earlier on the kank juice. Have a kank pastry.
Can I buy like a turkey leg, like raw, and then put in flame, and then just like cook it slowly and take bits like it's like a shawarma?
Can I take a raw turkey?
I take the kink stuff. I'm like, where'd you get this?
So you can find a stand that has Erdlu and Erdland for sale. Most of it's cooked, but they have some raw that they haven't cooked yet that you could buy off them. The Erdlu is 7 bits, and the Erdland is 3 ceramic pieces.
What's an Erdling?
An Erdlu is an ostrich, basically.
Well, what's the land version?
I'll point Taurus into the direction of the stall that sells the kank pastries, kank honey pastries.
Yeah.
This is great. I'm loving it.
It's like going to the fair.
I know, right?
How much is that? How much is the cake pastries?
The kank pastry, that was going to cost you 7 bits. So 0.7 of a ceramic piece.
For one pastry?
For one pastry, yes.
But it's a darn good pastry. You don't sell yourself short. This is top of the line pastry.
I'll tell him I want a dozen.
So it would be like 7 ceramic pieces will get you 10. That makes it easy.
Yeah, I say I want a dozen, so I give him 7 ceramic pieces. There you go.
They don't know how to count either.
Especially on this day. Actually,
well,
this
right
is
now I
they
take a dozen.
get the black.
My hands. I go.
They
I
make
want
all that
this
money
many.
on a day like today.
No, I held up my hands and I go. I want this many of them.
All right.
I'll
You
put
get
my whole
you
hand
get your
up.
10
There you go.
for 7 ceramic pieces.
Done.
There
Baker's dozen.
there are people that are selling beer and wine. They have wine made from Bullisberry. There are 15 ceramic pieces per bottle, and they're trying to distribute out to everybody in the nearby area.
Can I roll a performance check?
You can try, but when you try to perform, you are drowned out by the sounds of revelers screaming and hawkers trying to sell their wares, and almost nobody can hear or pay attention in the throng of events for longer than a few seconds.
What if it's high enough?
Like, can you magically enhance it so everybody can't help but hear it?
Can you give me guidance, Rivermore?
Yeah, I'll give you guidance. But I can't do thaumaturgy on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's only on me because I can like increase my voice.
I think I'm checking my spell list.
I wonder if I can apply that on someone.
Like, maybe if you had a signaling horn, you could blow into it to get everybody's attention or something.
Hey, you know.
I'll do it. I'll yell.
It's just that everybody here is yelling, so that's not saying much.
So are you
Yell.
trying to? What is this a performance or are you trying to attract attention?
I nudge Saul and be like, hey, yell Nibenay sucks, that'll get attention.
I look at Morgan with the most serious face. I say I won't.
I could use thaumaturgy on myself, and I can raise my voice 3 times as louder than what I can normally do. But I can't apply it on you though.
All right.
I could do some fireworks.
It says that you guys can't go 10 feet without bumping into somebody or somebody bumping into you. And making any progress, it's like rough terrain around here. You're only moving at barely half speed.
Well, that means it's very hard for me to be.
As one person,
large size.
yeah, as one person bumps into us, 3 bump into him. Like,
But like I said, there are half giant guards all over the place, so you're not the only one that's moving amongst the crowd. And then people just bump into your knees instead of just bumping into your shoulders.
Can I do a
I feel like
perception check?
I bump into them and knock them down.
All
Can I
perception
do-
checks will be made if you're using sight or sound. Perception checks are made at disadvantage in the crowd.
Yeah, for noticing anyone that would be showing a sign of the Lord of Flames.
Ah, all right. Looking for fire clerics.
Yeah, and I'll do it with guidance. I'll roll my guidance. You said with disadvantage, huh?
So
This is for guidance. This is a D4. Give me a second. Just one. And what is?
Also a ninja.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'm just gonna be carousing, and I'm gonna be carousing like a king, absolute life of the party.
No
Well,
doubt.
My minimum is 19 ninja.
Yeah.
What check do I roll, ninja, for carousing?
It's on that card. Carousing is kind of a downtime activity. You can sort of just roleplay a basic look without doing the whole thing. It's a
think-
charisma persuasion check.
We're all carousing right now.
Basically,
That's kind
yeah.
of the order of the day.
So I get a 19 ninja.
No, it's like we're all partying, but you're really good at it.
Exactly. Hey guys, I bet I can shove this piece of crack up. Wait.
I want to spend 2 gold on the entire party getting just like a smorgasbord of like all the best foods, like everything
Okay.
in
Wow.
like the stalls.
Awesome. All right.
That's kind of a lot of money to drop.
200 ceramic pieces. That's
Yeah.
2 of those gems that lady was offering us to
I
betray.
know, right?
And I'll be
Is she still is Leasa still around? To be honest,
She has to go to the main building in the middle of town. She's headed towards P here.
I kind of figured. Okay.
I'll give you like this. I'll give you guys some really like finely sliced pieces of meat, okay? And then you guys can use my lantern with the eternal flame.
Now,
I could cook that.
Korean barbecue.
Liesa is a Templar, and so they're forcing the crowd to make way for her. So she's got like 2 big half-giant guards that are forcing the crowd apart so she can walk through. So she's making better time than the party is getting across town, so she's probably twice as far as you are.
Wait, Morag, how much money?
Are we supposed to be following her? 200 ceramic pieces for
it's
food
fine.
and drinks.
You don't have to.
200?
Okay, it's okay. Was it Krios is very shawarma focused, and I'm okay with that right now.
Wait, but you said you spent 200 ceramic pieces?
Yep.
I'm a portable
On
barbecue
everybody.
today.
It's like, wait, how many? Wait, what? How much is that? Everybody at the party, or everyone in the crew?
What?
You say you spent 200 on everyone at the party, or was it part
No,
of the party?
for us, like our group, not the city party, our
Yeah.
party.
I was like, holy shit!
Hey,
how much are you?
Everybody, you can hear me. Drinks on me, right?
I don't think
Did you say
200
that?
ceramic pieces spread amongst hundreds of people in a crowd would go
Right.
very far.
Skyward, did you say that drinks on me in here?
He's out there basically just throwing money in the air. Yeah.
I can't be out there, so I'm going to spend 300 on drinks. Everyone.
Two gold is actually a lot. Like
Mhm.
we have more than what we like. We have like barrels of alcohol right now.
Damn.
I get like
Um,
one of everything, please.
Yeah, you get the pitas, and I'm cooking the meat over here.
Everyone's like having a normal party, just us.
Yeah.
Hey, resourcefulness, just hey, cook this.
I can make it even more explosive, guys.
Please don't blow up the city while
No.
we're in it.
No, please do. I bet $5 you won't. 5 ceramics you won't.
At level 9 right now, I could actually make a big ass cube of flame in the air.
I'll give you 1,000.
People will be kind of freaked out.
I'll give you 1,000 ceramics. You throw a random fireball.
And if I applied thaumaturgy on it too, I could change the color and make it sparkle in there.
Firework, do it. Firework.
The flame would just stay in the air. It's not gonna rain down on us like a fireball.
No,
All right.
because it's like it's like if I open like a mini gate to the elemental world of flame.
All I can think about
It's just pure fire in several like square feet.
Like he just throws the fireball up. Oh, that looks so beautiful. Wait a minute. It's coming down.
Yeah, just explodes.
Yes, he's like, oh my god. It goes from like nice fireworks to a calamity.
When you look around for clerics, you're not going to see any in this district.
No.
Not here during the party. At least not dressed like clerics.
Is there a way to be kind of discreet in this area? Or
I mean,
there's
you're just
too
blending
many
in with a
people?
mass of people.
You could
You-
try to move in the back alleys.
Yeah,
You-
and can I ask you guys to kind of hide me a little bit for a moment?
You want to do this Assassin's Creed style where we just surround you and you like pray in the middle?
Shubala.
I just don't want people around to see what will happen there.
Kumalala, kumalala, kumalala.
Right now, there's no way because you're in the middle of a crowded street during a festival, so people will see unless you go off into a back alley somewhere.
I mean, but who's paying attention to you though? Like they have negative perception because they're like, there's too many people. You're hidden in the crowd.
A little bit.
If you go to a club and somebody goes on the dance floor and starts muttering some stuff, believe you me,
People will notice.
I want to cast a disguise self. That's going to be very apparent if I do that.
I mean, people are yelling over you. You're not gonna hear somebody going like.
I want to use one of the tattoo. I just don't want like to attract that attention in the crowd.
Are people crowding the alleyways too?
You don't know until you try. Do you want to go into the alleys?
Yeah, I'll go in one of the alleys.
All right, you make your way towards the back alleys. When you go into the alleyways, there's people at either end of the alleys, but if you go towards the middle of the alleyway, you're kind of in the back of some buildings where there's just piles of trash and some catwalks and things. But the people at the ends of the alleys aren't paying a ton of attention. They're sort of looking at the festivities and talking to people. So there you are.
Can the group with the half giant and everyone be surrounding me just to make it a little bit more discreet?
You have to ask us that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I say, hey guys, can you surround me? I want to.
Doesn't this make it look more suspicious?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Also, it's kind of a habit that anytime I have to sing "Welcome to Squidward's Tiki Land" in the background.
Why are we getting into a circle?
I will while I'm kind of
I'll be right back.
between them, I will cast a disguise self, and then off of one of the two tattoos that I have, and I am going to appear as like a street artist, I guess. I don't know, a flamethrower type of individual, you know.
Yep.
That's what you want to use your tattoo on?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that way I can freely use flame powers, you know, and people won't look at it as something necessarily magical.
So you're oily skinned but buffer.
Yes. Yeah, I'm super buff too, you know.
All right. You look like a regular Mardi Gras person then, just like everyone else here.
Yeah, just so I can be incognito, but I'll be like one of what is the fire breathers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. Try to perform that while I'm getting drunk, and maybe get the attention of.
Or there's also like fire twirlers where they have a stick with like each end is on fire and they spin it, or they'll have like a fiery ball on the end of a rope and they'll be like twirling the rope to create like circles of fire. Stuff like that can be pretty cool. There's other entertainers in the crowd doing a similar thing, so you'll blend in with them.
I'll do something like that, but I'll discreetly use, you know, my cantrips to like modify the flames, make them more sparkly, more amusing, more like spectacular, I guess.
Sure.
While I go and try to maybe to be like the one that can be a little bit more apparent to followers of the flame.
You got it.
Uh, while we're
Fire
getting
and
drunk,
flame.
and while we're getting drunk and we're eating our shawarma.
Indeed.
The two main freaking things. That's great.
All right. To get you guys on task, you guys were warned by Sadira of the Vale Alliance that Nibenay, the king of Nibenay, plans to do something to a force, an entity, a powerful wild magic entity known as the Zwoon. He wants to do something to it, which would throw the world into disarray and unbalance, and the preservers and druids of the Veiled Alliance want to prevent him from doing that. And so you need to find the Veiled Alliance somewhere here in the city, but you don't know where they are. You don't have a contact that can get you in, which means you're going to have to do some investigating and find the notoriously paranoid and secretive Veiled Alliance of Nibenay. And that's on you. So you guys will have to work together to figure out how to find the Veiled Alliance here in town.
Did they give us any clue how to find them?
You do not have a clue. In Uruk, you knew it was the pottery shop. However, you don't have any clues to go on here.
Do they use the same what is it? Passcode?
So the Veiled Alliance are basically like a terrorist organization. What they do is highly illegal, and if they get caught, they are murdered immediately on the spot. So they've developed a process of sort of like dividing themselves up into little cells, little groups of people where they only know maybe 5 other members of the group, and they work in secret with little information passing between each other in case any one of them gets caught. They won't be able to spill the beans about the whole operation. So finding the Veiled Alliance could prove hard. It is a challenge to get into the good graces of the Veiled Alliance of Nibenay without any clues to go on. So it will require some thinking and some ingenuity on the part of the players.
What's going on?
They're looking for the Veiled Alliance. You're the resident expert in the party.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Is there like a special insignia I know that they have?
A symbol of the Veiled Alliance? No.
They don't have one.
If anything, it would be anything that a wizard would have. Spell components, an arcane focus, a spell book. Any of those things would be a signal that they might be the Veiled Alliance.
Do
Do they have the resistance password Appomattox, or was that only when we were slaves?
They don't have that passphrase here.
Oh.
Is there any known way I have a contact?
Nope.
So on my mic, you just a member. Damn. I don't want to any meetings. They don't say what's up.
You know the right people that you can prove you are a member of the Veiled Alliance if you were questioned, but other than that, you don't know anything about the Veiled Alliance of Nibenay.
Okay. We could just go around and ask. I'm kidding. Hey.
You could.
I'm gonna go carousing with all the hooded peoples that have wizardy robes.
That would be absolutely hilarious. To, like, wait, did they kind of stand out? Like just a group of people?
You literally can in D&D profile people. You see a scrawny nerd wearing some wizard robes with like nothing but a dagger. You're like, huh, could he be a defiler or a preserver? Maybe.
And I try to profile anyone in the crowd.
Yeah. You can keep your eyes peeled for somebody who looks like a wizard, for sure.
Is that a perception check?
With disadvantage, because you can't see very far in the crowd.
All right.
I would imagine. Oh wait, I probably can't even talk to you guys very much until there's a lull in the celebrations.
So, just like if you were at a concert, there will be moments where it gets a little quieter, and if you shout in somebody's ear, they can understand what you're talking about.
Okay. I see. Who's looking around? Grimorn is looking around.
Yep.
Okay, is that the one who I see looking around for different people trying to find in the crowd, and I can kind of sense, I can imagine, I can bet who he's looking for. I'm gonna go ahead
more.
and say,
I am more looking though for like people in my
Fire clerics.
relations.
oh well then I'm
I give
assuming he's
soul
well then I assume incorrectly then that he's looking for
guide.
the Vale Alliance then.
So that's the extra here.
Well,
But
indirectly, I'm looking for some contacts, maybe people that could help and shelter
Okay.
us. And stuff.
Well, I'm gonna say that the people we're looking for probably wouldn't be out on this kind of a celebration. It's not. I'm guessing it's not their thing. It's not quite what they're into.
Are you saying they don't know how to party hard?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Ha ha! And I click.
Hey!
Whatever I've got.
Hey! Oh, okay. That is factually untrue.
Factually.
I would know. I'm one of them.
So right, exactly.
Just blow my cover. You don't know how to party. Yeah, actually, we do. What?
Don't call my. Don't pull my hoe card. Don't you pull my hoe card.
Wait, also, Ninja, with a 14, do I find?
You were looking for Vale Alliance wizard type people. With a 14, you did not spot any.
Ah, okay.
However, you're still in the very first street of the Western District, right by the gate. Nobody has moved an inch from the very, very, very beginning edge of the city.
I want to make my way around, see what other attractions in any other district.
As I mentioned,
we were walking around getting food stalls and stuff.
All right, guys. I'm gonna blow your mind with an amazing concept. You have figurines. This is a map. Place yourself physically where you are.
I don't know. I walked through the city getting all the food stalls and spending money.
Okay. So basically, you're looking in the Western District. You're not going to find them here. You have not found them here yet.
What's on this side of town?
You know what?
I poke this lady and this man. I'm like, you two look suspicious.
That's racist.
I keep on moving as much as I can, like with the crowd.
Yeah.
Like I'm,
What's on this side of town?
making my way towards, like, I guess the big temple, which I'm sure there's a lot of festivity in that area.
I asked these Nibanayan citizens, I'm like, do you know a Korganar?
Nobody knows Korganard. They're going to shake their heads. They haven't got a clue. They've never heard of that name before.
Is that a band?
I'm looking for a friend.
I wanna. Okay, so there's probably some kind of soldiers keeping the peace here, right?
Yes, there are half-giant guards that are scattered around on the streets, making sure that the law of the land is obeyed, that nobody commits any crimes in the city.
Actually, you know what? That's going to be harder to do this with. Are there any other Templars that I can see? Templars like Liesa, but not her. Crucially, not her.
Templars, aside from Liesa, are scattered throughout the crowd. They are almost always easy to spot because anytime there's a Templar, there will be a pair of flanking half-giant guards, and almost always they'll be on a palanquin where there are like 4 slaves that are carrying, like sort of like the litter that the person sits up on top of, like a little throne. And so there's
a sedan chair.
Yeah. So there's like half giants clearing a path, and then there's 4 people carrying the Templar up on the seat.
Well, that sucks. That doesn't do what I want. I was gonna steal from one of them, but you know what? Maybe not. Okay, there's none of them sitting there where I can bump into them and be carousing, but also just I don't know. After what Liesa said to me, I I'm a little ticked off actually about
That's our merchant.
well, not just because she's a merchant, but also that our group as downright wholesome as the Vale Alliance could be terrorists and foul and horrible. I'm just
Exactly.
I'm
I
just
would
ready to go ahead and do something about it. And so I feel the need to just do like a token's worth of a sleight of hand and just to reach into somebody's pocket and see what comes out.
Exactly.
But
We've never done
but
anything bad.
but crucially not just, some random citizen of Nibenay. I'm talking about a Templar, but not one who knows who I am, not Liesa. I'm keeping an eye out, and if that never happens, oh well. But if you can find me somebody who would be probably not just a soldier doing their job, but like an officer of sorts. If that ever happens, great. If not, I'll wait an hour before I actually move on this. I'll wait hours. But I do that in between, carousing with the common folk.
All right. The first thing you'll notice is one of the half-giants is giving orders to some of the other half-giants. So he is a half-giant officer of Nibenay. He's got an insignia of rank, and he's got more armor than some of the others. And he seems to be giving commands that, with his booming voice, even in the crowd, even in the noise, you can make out some of what he's saying. He's telling the half-giants that the event is going to happen within the next few hours, and that everybody should be prepared for when it happens. And that's all you hear.
The
So
event.
What
you see the
event?
oh. Normally when
Hold on.
this
That's a whole different ball game. Let me go ahead and change tack, actually. All right.
The hell are these red lines?
that's my
Is there any
hardcore.
way that I could impersonate another military officer, an officer of not officer, a soldier of Nibenay with what I'm wearing? Would that be at all possible?
Say again? What do you want to do with the soldier?
I'm saying, okay, so I'm already a soldier background, but would
Yeah.
it be at all within? I don't know. I guess I could do like an untrained disguise check, maybe. But after he says that, I almost want to act like a soldier who just like missed the memo and wants to figure out where he's supposed to be, and like figure out wait the event, wait what's going on, where am I supposed to be, Sergeant? Something like that.
Gotcha. Well, the problem is the rank and file soldiers, when you do see them, they're always moving in pairs. So you would probably have to coordinate with your party to take out a couple soldiers quietly in an alley or something. It would be difficult to pull off, especially it's like noon, broad daylight.
Okay. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking
I know
about
this
it.
guy's self as well. I can help.
Well, repeat that. What was that?
I know this guy's self as well. I can help if you need another.
Yeah. Well,
Can
okay.
you stealthily kill someone though?
Well,
I mean, I
you
can
just
send
be
them back.
somebody. You don't need to kill somebody. You can just be somebody and knock them out. You don't knock them out even.
I know distance will probably make him run away.
Look, I'm gonna go ahead and he doesn't even see that I was thinking about trying to boost whatever's in his pocket. I'm gonna go ahead and work my way, dancing and carousing and clinking carpenter cups full of whatever is in my cup. I don't even know what's in my cup. But I take a drink of whatever it is, and work my way back over to. Okay, who was it that impersonated one of the fire eaters?
Chris.
Prius.
Grimorn is his character.
Grimorn. See, I thought I was gonna say it, and then I stopped myself. So Grimorn, I'm gonna go back to you and actually, can I even tell who Grimorn is in the crowd anymore?
You were with him when he transformed. You saw his new form. You can identify him as that.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna go up to him and in between his performative flame.
It looks like you're going to have to move pretty hastily to catch up to him. He drew a line squiggling across half the city in his efforts to find a priest.
Okay, well then let me go ahead and shoot. I'll go ahead and what is this? Acrobatics, I guess.
You're going to tumble through the crowd to bypass their crushing proximity.
Absolutely, yes.
All right.
And ooh, hello. 19?
Okay.
19.
So you manage to tail Grimorn and you keep up with him. Now, Chris, when you get over into the Sages District, that's when you're actually going to find a fire cleric over here.
Okay.
And it's going to be one of these guys.
Oh shoot, he made like a lot of progress.
Okay. Yeah, I kept on moving, because I'm performing, so I'm, a bit into my my thing right now.
Well, I don't have to necessarily get back with that particular sergeant, half giant sergeant or whatever. I can just, make this happen with somebody else later on in the city. But
I'll leave him on the map if you want to look for him again later.
Well, yeah, but there's going to be other sergeants, and I can go ahead and do the same strategy with another person later on in the city. I'm sure they're probably every freaking where. But
what he was talking about is going to happen with every officer and guard. So there was some planned event at the end of the festival later tonight, when the sun sets. He indicated that they have to be prepared for something.
Not again!
Right. So what I want to do is try to catch up with him, and you said I could. And so what I'm going to do is in my weaving and carousing, I clasp him on the shoulder and bring him into an embrace and say, "Come quickly, I need to talk to you."
Yep.
And I kind of try to apply some pressure to his shoulder and kind of ease him over to a corner if I can. And do you acquiesce? Do you come with?
Chris.
Where are we about though?
Near the Sages District.
So I don't know if you were successful in finding your mission of finding a fire cleric. I think you.
He's about to. He's about to. But what you do is you acrobatically catch up to him on the street as he's about to get there.
So he's like, you saw one you're about to interact with, and now he has to decide between going and finding a wrong time. Is that what this is?
I'll listen to you. It's like, what is going on?
I heard the soldiers talking about some event that's going to happen. I want you to be my partner, my wingman, and not wingman. my brother in arms as we act like soldiers and find out what this event is. Are you with me?
I think it's suicidal.
Ah, suicidal. I'm sure I'll have your back as you've had mine.
In a city like this one, where we barely can move, why don't we find some contacts that might know what is going on? But what you're saying is a bit worrisome. Last time that guards acted like that and there was a sorcerer king in the city, that king was trying to pretty much kill everyone in the town. But I'm not very discreet.
All right, have it your way. You know what? No. I'm gonna try to freaking. Can I? I can't persuade with the check. Okay, this needs to be me convincing you verbally. Huh. Who do you? Okay, fine. Who do you hope to find? Them?
Well, you don't know. You haven't heard.
Heard what?
I
Okay, let's
spoke-
go deeper into an alcove and see if we can get some more privacy.
I spoke with an elemental in one of my hallucinations, in one of my dreams.
What?
Yeah,
Okay,
and it-
congratulations. Yes, great. But what about the Vale Alliance?
you're asking me to make a choice between finding maybe the way to the city of Brass versus
Oh my
Vale Alliance.
gosh, you and your mushrooms, man. The city of Brass is a child's tale. What do you... whatever. I go off and finish off my
Well,
cup and get another. I'm
Okay.
done.
Wait.
Okay, you pull
was-
my shoulder
I-
back. What you say? Wait. Go ahead.
I was told that there's some allies in the city. People that can help us.
From the city of Brass.
In this city, some people that believe in the Lord of Flames.
I kiss your forehead, and I go off partying again.
What was the forehead kiss for?
All right.
My sweet summer child.
I don't
Good night.
understand what just happened.
Bromance.
Nothing really gay.
No,
I'm so
this is
confused.
a... Oh my god. You effing idiot. Good night.
Nothing really gay about it.
Well, you will see me catch on fire
From the gayness?
Wait,
and start juggling
what?
again.
What? You
Start
child.
juggling fire.
You ridiculous little thing.
Yeah,
You're done.
Covering myself in burning oil.
Yeah. Yeah, there
while
you
I'm
go.
Juggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dead. You're dead.
You're whatever. Good night. Well, even though it's only noon, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
1 o'clock.
well, what, 1 o'clock or something? Afternoon.
Well, if I tell you one more
It
thing,
is
okay?
probably closer to 2 or 3 by the time you get across town because it takes a long
Okay.
time to travel in the throng
Right,
of the,
right.
the festivities.
Before you leave, I tell you keep an eye in the sky, and if you see a signal, you'll know where to head toward.
Who are you, Batman?
What? What kind of omen are you dropping in my lap now? I told you the same thing, and I gesture drunkenly into your chest. The same thing that the guards are saying, and now you drop a similar portent. What? What?
That will be where you might want to go for safety. If you wanna
Oh.
find the city is big, and I'll send a flare in the air.
Templar aspirant.
Well, thanks, Grimorn. I'll look for it. Great.
Are the streets crowded everywhere, or was it only the Western District that was having the party?
Okay, so if you look at the map, there are main streets and then there are side streets. The side streets go in between all the buildings, they're very small, but the main streets, every main street is where the festival is happening. So if you're moving in the main street, you're going to be at about half speed, bumping into somebody every 10 feet. If you move into the back alleys, you can move at normal speed. And then if you have the street urchin background, you can move through the back alleys at double speed.
Okay.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
It's a big city, so it does take several hours if you're going all the way across it. This front area here, there's a lot of merchants and a lot of commoners that are sort of enjoying the wares that are coming in from the merchant caravans, all the strange foods and drinks from far, like the Tyrian wine, the Asticlian wine that's been brought from Tyr is very popular, and a lot of people on this western district are drinking it.
So Tyr has a popular brand.
Yes. Aegis of Astocles, the noble of Tyr, who was the benefactor that helped the Vale Alliance defeat Calic. His family makes the most popular wine, known throughout the land as Tyrian Astocles wine. It's very expensive, it's very fine wine, and it's quite popular.
He's gonna have a good year with
Right.
Everything growing.
Time to buy stock in that. Hello.
Yeah.
Why don't you buy Twitter?
The
I
wineries.
was waiting for someone to say something.
The Astocles family winery is probably its most profitable business, next to their various other side things. And that's how they fund the Vale Alliance of Tyr.
With winery.
He's got the hots for Sidira, and Sidira is the leader of the Vale Alliance, so they're sort of a power couple in Tyr.
Where does Gustle and Crew fit in all that?
Gustle and Crew is a Veiled Alliance member from Uruk, from one of the two factions of the Veiled Alliance in Uruk. They had a bit of a civil war between the two factions. They didn't get along. And of course, her faction got decimated when the faction house got hit. So now the Veiled Alliance of Uruk is probably almost entirely controlled by the other rival faction. So she might actually be sort of like an expatriate. She might have to move to another city or something, start anew.
Oh wow. She's a strong man to protect her.
A few of her friends did survive and escape, so if she goes back to Uruk, she'll be able to reunite with a couple of them. Several of them did die in the attack, though.
I guess we split, and I'll keep on moving towards.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him go off and do his thing. I am stymied actually in my plan. I'm just gonna go ahead and hang out around different soldiers. Trying to focus my ear and bend my ear towards that, and kind of hope I can possibly catch more information. But I'm not gonna probably get that much. I don't expect to be super successful in that endeavor.
All right. Chris, you approach the Sage's district, and when you get here, there's a man on the corner who is proselytizing for the Fire Lord, the power of flame. He's a man with a shiny, oiled beard and long, flowing robes, and he holds up a holy symbol that appears to be fire, a sculpture of flame, and it catches the reflection of a bonfire that he's built, and he's proclaiming that the Lord of Flames will cleanse all of the vile and unholy things in the world and burn away the undead and the banshees of the dwarves, and he's sort of basically trying to get the attention of everybody and tell them the glory of the Lord of Fire. So you know right away he's the man you've been looking for.
I walk towards him. And he said there's a bonfire in front of him?
Yes.
And I tell him, you really truly believe that you're a man of flame?
He does.
And I walk through the bonfire.
Ah.
While I'm standing in the bonfire, I tell him, you hold this lantern, and we'll see if you're a true believer.
All right, he holds the lantern, and he is not burned.
Oh, you are gifted. Do you recognize this lantern?
He doesn't recognize it, but he can tell right away that it is an artifact of flame.
And what is your name, sir?
He'll tell you his name is Beanric.
I haven't heard of you.
Beanric of Nibenay.
I am Gremorn from Tyr, this free city of Tyr.
He'll tell you he is a fire cleric, and he's been working as a bounty hunter, burning the unjust.
Well, I was told by a fire element that there was allies in the city. And if
Ah,
I needed some shelter or maybe for some information, maybe I could get some help from people
all
that
right.
are.
He'll be able to lead you to a small shrine to the Lord of Flame that they have in the city here, and you'll be able to meet up with most of the members of the fire shrine, all the acolytes and the parishioners that come to visit the shrine. You'll be able to meet an assortment of people. They're mostly of low level, level 3 to 5 ish. Like Beanrick here, he's probably the highest ranking member at level 5.
Last time, have you had the chance to meet a few peasants that were looking for followers of the Lord of Flame? The last time I was in the city, we ended up fighting against Cleric of the Wind, and I was able to convince some of his followers to follow our lordship.
New converts. Attendance has been good over the recent weeks and months.
Aren't you under the pressure of the Sorcerer King of the city?
Nibenay is quite tolerant of all of our dealings here. He is one of the more standoffish of the Sorcerer Kings. I've heard tales in years past when there have been uprisings that threatened to compromise his rule. He did make an appearance, although everybody who ever saw him was killed on the spot. So there's not really any report of direct sighting of Nibenay. But he does command a certain amount of respect as a leader that you don't want to threaten or undermine his rule. So he respects us. He allows us to operate within the city, unlike some of the other Sorcerer Kings who do not tolerate the worshippers of fire. Although he also allows the water clerics to live within the city, which I don't agree with. Those bastards should be kicked out of the city.
Nibenay's just like kind of a Giga Chad, I'm not gonna lie.
They would be perfect for a sacrifice.
That sounds very serial killerish. I like it.
Do you know where they might be hiding?
He'll tell you that the water clerics are all to the south in the reservoir area, down here.
Are you actually gonna kill them?
See?
They will douse you.
They will douse you.
And these celebration, like the ones from today, are they? Is this an annual thing? Do they
Yes,
happen often?
we have a Starlight Pageant every year. It's a celebration of Nibenay's great victory in the year 12378 of the old era, and the christening of his new palace, the Nagaramak, in the center of our city, and its new walls, the shining walls, decorated with the face of Nibenay, the sculpture that you see on almost every building throughout the entire city, the face of Nibenay in his human form.
Oh yeah, and is there normally kind of a big event at the end of the day?
Yes. The festival climaxes at the last rays of the sun as they set. The festival climaxes with a great celebration, peaking as sun sets, and then it slowly dies down after that.
Have you ever heard of people disappearing during those events?
People disappear. There is a certain amount of crime to be worried about in a city of this size with a population such as it is. There's usually scoundrels that'll cut purses, that'll slit a person's throat in a dark alley and take their belongings. But don't worry, don't worry. As long as you can handle yourself, they'll give you a wide berth. You certainly seem like you can handle a burglar with a blade or a person trying to steal your belongings in the street.
Yeah, we've killed a few Templars in our days.
If you truly command the power of fire, they usually will steer clear. Few criminals want to taste the justice of fire.
Well, last time I've seen a Sorcerer King decide to make a big event, I ended up almost killing the entire city of Tyr.
Okay. He's going to be fascinated by anything you have to say about Tyr. There's not a ton of information that gets out, but the news that Cleric was murdered by gladiators during a revolution is mind-boggling to everybody. So any information, first-hand information that you have from those events, he will ask you 100 questions about it. He will not stop asking questions, probably for the next several minutes on end until he gets as much information as you've got.
I'll describe how we were, me and my group, we were slaves, and that we were actually forced to build and work on the giant, what is the name of
the ziggurat.
The ziggurat.
Calyx ziggurat.
Yeah. And that some of us were able to become gladiators and healers for the gladiators. And that we almost died having our entire energy being captured for the Sorcerer King. And at that point, I explained him like how the hero came out with this giant spear and threw it from the middle of the gladiator pit and made a giant hole through the Sorcerer King.
Amazing! Inconceivable that a Sorcerer King could be felled by a mortal weapon. They're like gods.
Oh, I don't believe it's a mortal weapon. It's something that I've never seen ever in my existence.
The Heartwood Spear.
It's as if a part of the Sorcerer King just disappeared and vanished.
Would you say it's more powerful than the Lord of Flames?
To be honest, a spear like that could probably do the same thing to the Lord of this city, if needed.
Outrageous. I wouldn't speak too much about that in public. If one of the Templar wives overhears you, they might consider you a traitor and arrest you on the spot just for saying that Nibenay might be harmed.
Well,
he really is considered a god and has a legendary reputation.
After seeing what happened in Tyr, I can tell you the beliefs of these creatures as being gods has kind of vanished, and now it's a free city. We actually have a giant temple in front of the city now for celebrating having victory, having defeated the army of Yuri.
Heresy.
You're going to jail.
But anyone that is interested or doesn't want to be under the control of another Sorcerer King is always welcome to our shrine. We are looking to grow our temple
and our city.
And what of the Vale Alliance? Have you heard of their presence in the city?
The Vale Alliance, hunted to extinction, I would say. I've never met one, at least not one willing to speak his allegiance to such a, what's the word?
What adjective will you use? Yeah. What adjective? Yeah.
Such a persecuted group.
I thought you was gonna say something that was gonna hurt my feelings. Like, come on.
I was waiting for what he was gonna say. Yeah.
Well, he knows anybody who claims allegiance to the Vale Alliance doesn't live very long, so he says you probably shouldn't even talk about it in the city here.
Imagine.
He's heard of some executions, but the dead won't help you much, will they?
When did they get executed?
We have speak with the dead.
Almost every 1 to 2 months, there's an execution or a story that's spread throughout town of a Vale Alliance member being caught and killed. He likes to declare the deaths of the Vale Alliance members to create a chilling effect to other people who consider they might join the Vale Alliance, that they should learn that it will spell their doom. He makes sure that they fear it.
Anything lately? Maybe a planned execution?
He hasn't heard of a planned one. Usually he hears about it after the fact.
Oh, I see.
They have town criers that come throughout the streets and declare the dead and how they were killed.
Also, I don't know, if we needed some shelter, us and our friends, would you be willing to help us?
You're welcome to stay here in the shrine, the fire shrine.
Mm-hmm.
Their accommodations are not great. They're pretty modest, really, but it's something. It's a roof over your head and a bed to sleep in.
Okay. What I'll do though, I'll make a donation to your cause for
All
your
right.
shrine. So I'll
Appreciate
give
it.
him, I'll give him 3 gold. And tell him try to grow your try to bring more believers in the Lord of the Flames, and maybe use some of these funds to work on your shrine and make it better. Great.
Indeed. We still have several hours of festival. I was hoping to proselytize on the plaza and try to draw more people to our great and glorious Lord of Flame.
I'll assist you if you want.
All right, he's going to return to the Sage District Plaza.
Well, ask him as well. Have you heard of maybe some secret items in the area, in the region, or maybe even your group might have found? I've been collecting items, connecting me, and try to be connected even more to the Lord of the Flame.
He shakes his head. He's heard nothing that can help you, unfortunately.
Okay. So I'll help him with his ceremonial practices there.
So he's going to return to the plaza, and he's going to cry out to people the glory of the Lord of Flame. He's going to add some fuel to his bonfire. He's going to tell stories of how the fire has been used to purge the unjust and the criminal element, and bring down various people that were doing harm to the community. So he's both advertising his bounty hunter gig and also doing religious discussion to anybody who will listen.
Yeah, and while he's doing that, what I'll secretly use some of my powers, and I'll cast some minor fire elementals that will walk, like kind of crawl out of the bonfire,
Oh.
and they will emulate his stories, kind of be actors.
The crowd is quite impressed. I rolled an 18 for the crowd reaction. They really like it.
And then when things become more intense, I'll use some of my powers also to just increase even more the bonfire, just so everybody can see it from a long distance.
All right, you're putting on a pretty good show, and some time passes, and the sun gets a little lower on the horizon. Who else was walking around and trying to find Vale Alliance members? Like, Rara, were you doing it?
Yeah, I'm completely on the other side of town. I've just missed.
I
was, but then everyone.
Yeah. All right, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception is my 10 plus my perception wisdom score, right?
Yeah, well, your perception skill, if you've got proficiency in it, you could add the whole thing.
So that would be 12, not 2.
It went up by 1, by the way, on level 9.
Mm-hmm.
How close is the bonfire to any of the houses?
Not close. It's a big plaza. A lot of space.
Okay.
What are you trying to do, Long?
Control flames cantrip. move the fire 5 feet to a house.
Oh no! He started a fire. We should burn him. That's a good plan, actually. How close is the?
All right.
It's a good way to attract, clerics of water.
So you and Morg are walking along. Your passives are probably not going to do the trick. If you guys want to make an active roll to stand around for a while and see if you can spot a wizard.
All right, that will help spot a wizard. With disadvantage, you say?
With disadvantage, because the crowd makes it hard to see very far. You can only see the dozens of people standing around you.
You give both of us guidance.
Perception.
You give us guidance.
You can see a giant bonfire.
I can give myself guidance.
The bonfire is more obvious than the scrawny person they're looking for.
And a bunch of fire elements emulating stories.
Yeah, I'm not passing it.
Only 11.
Yeah.
It was a 20 and a 2.
What's your passive though? Like, it must fit you the eye.
My passive includes it's what, 10 plus the proficiency?
Whatever your perception is, like the skill perception, you just add 10 to that, and that's what your passive would be.
17.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Okay, so having little success, it falls to the remaining party members. You guys haven't said much in a while, so either Orin or Joe Dab, you could unmute yourself and add your 2 cents here.
What up?
It falls to you.
Well,
Nobody else could do it.
What I wanted to do was, I was hoping that I could still maybe find an officer like a sergeant and potentially, yes, even a half giant, to find a nice opportunity to bump into it, check his pockets, especially for maybe like a letter of order, like an order or some kind of papers explaining what it is that the event might be, or
I would like to.
So you're doing investigating.
Yeah, I would just like to do it. Looking for shiny things. Notice maybe a shiny officer. Notice the officer has a lot of shiny shit on.
Guys, I'm gonna have to go.
All
You're
right.
stealing their shirt buttons.
All right. See you, everybody.
See ya, see ya.
Bye, Rara.
Oh, good on you.
Is that enough?
What was it? 17?
A 17 to look for shinies.
There's some valuable things. Like maybe the officers are have valuable stuff. You know?
All right. Well, here you are in the Sages District. You'll notice that the Sages District has several shops that cater to high-end people with rich tastes, and there are a variety of wealthy people that are moving in and out of the shops.
Now, so we're looking for a Vale Alliance officer.
You're looking for somebody who might be in the Vale Alliance that can get you in.
Oh. Wouldn't they notice me?
You are a half giant. Yeah, everybody notices you as you pass by because you're quite large.
I'm like the nicest half giant ever, as well.
Your very size is intimidating. People give you a wide berth.
I'm just saying. Wouldn't they notice me? Just saying.
Although the Veiled Alliance has no reason to talk to a half giant, since most half giants are guards of Nibenay.
Yeah, but I'm clearly not even wearing a.
Yeah, you're an odd one. You're not wearing a uniform.
Excuse me.
Keep in mind, though, half giants are a created race created by the Sorcerer Kings in order to serve their will. So most people will look at you as maybe like an undercover cop.
I've been like. Let me say. Okay. Is there any kids around? Like anybody in need? Any children in need?
I mean, there are kids that are running around begging their parents to buy them candy and things. So if you want to buy candy for the kids, you could.
They want the sugar weed.
They want that sugar
I
weed.
want to pull out one of the 10. I probably already ate a couple of them already, and I want to bring out some of those the cake cakes and give them to some of the kids. I want to be like, here you go, children.
All right. So a crowd
envision
pleaser.
him as that bear with the lollipops saying "children."
Before long, you are surrounded by street urchins begging for treats.
I give all the ones I got.
All right.
So the ones I had, I take one for myself and I give the. Here you go. Clean everyone. I'll get more another time.
Okay.
I want to just try to, maybe be noticed by one of these Vale Alliance people. That's odd. A half giant giving stuff away to urchins.
You're like, I don't care if he steals me away. He's got candy.
All right, so here's what happens. Time passes, and Creus, Grimorn has a pretty high passive perception. You're going to notice that there is somebody who's been keeping an eye on the party members as you move around in the plaza. And he's been watching you, and he's been watching Taurus, and it seems like he's considering approaching the various members of your group to talk with them, but he's cautious and keeps reconsidering and then thinking about it. But he's a frail-looking man, and he looks a little bit nervous and sweaty, and he hasn't sort of raised the courage in himself to approach anybody in your party, but he's been following your group for a few minutes now.
I'll bring it up to Morg, since he's close. And I'll tell him, look over there, this man. He's been kind of eyeing us since we've been traveling through the city.
Do I get to hear that?
Maybe he wants some of your shawarma.
Do I get to hear that? Or
Sure.
see that?
Yeah, if you want to be there, that's fine.
Okay. Then I will, in a gregarious manner, the party guy, I will go up and see that he's coming up to us, and I start somewhat drunkenly stumbling towards him, and go up, and he turns to turn away, but I clasp him on the shoulder and say, "Hello, friend." And I have this written down, but how do you pronounce it again? Are you looking for the wood? How do you say it again? The swoon?
Swoon?
But I say that part quiet. I say that part quiet. Are you looking for the swoon?
He tells you, no, I'm not looking for the swoon. In fact, you look to be a mercenary, correct? You have weapons sheathed at your hip. You've got some armor on. You look like you could handle yourself in a fight. Am I incorrect?
Correct, but I'm a friend of Corganard.
I don't know Corganard. Is he a respected warrior that would prove your skill? Regardless, I have a request. I'm meeting with some elves, and I don't trust the elves very much. I feel like they might try to rip me off and steal what I have to trade rather than make the exchange. Or, even worse, perhaps they would choose to attack me, for I am a man alone, and I am not a warrior, as you can see. So perhaps you could go in my stead and retrieve or make the exchange. I have this package, and he shows you a bundle that has a bunch of medicinal leaves in it that are sandwiched together in a bundle that's wrapped. And it's a big bundle, lots and lots of these medicinal leaves. And he says, the elves need these medicines, and I need a package that they had obtained for me. If you could make the exchange and return the package to me, I would gladly pay you. Although I do not look to be a man of means, I do in fact have a tidy sum of money that I have saved, and I would gladly pay you whatever you ask if you would simply perform this task for me and obtain the treasure I wish to purchase from these elves.
And without you being there?
Yes, I would prefer to stay in a safe location, and you can come back and meet me later with the merchandise.
I look at him quizzically. Does he have any kind of badges of a merchant house upon him?
You look him over, but you don't see any indication that he's with House Sham or one of the other merchant houses now.
Okay.
He's dressed as a civilian, just a reveler. He's wearing simple commoner's clothing. He doesn't look like he would have money, but he will show you that he does have the money to pay you if you will take the job. He'll pay you some now, up front, and more later.
Let me talk to my boss, my commanding officer, if you will. We'll see what we can do. And so, where may I find you again?
He says he'll be here, but he doesn't have a whole lot of time. That it's vital that he receive his merchandise and get out of here as quickly as possible. So the sooner the better. Do not take long. Whatever preparations you must make, I will pay you extra if you will just hurry.
I'll not tarry. It's okay. Pay me no mind. I'm gonna go ahead and relay this information to. Okay, are we all together?
More or less.
Yeah.
More or less,
I think
except
we're all-
for
I think
Morn
we're-
is still off a little bit, right?
Let's just say yes for the sake of argument. The
Okay,
party
fine.
is together.
Gentlemen, we have been asked by some random partygoer here. He seems to be a merchant of sorts, but not of the merchant houses. He wants us to collect a package for him from the elves that live in Nibenay. Seemed like a very random and inopportune time to be so frustrated and flustered about this time pressed need to make this deal, but he wants to pay us, and I don't know. I don't feel like we're entirely poor right now, but I'm a bit curious to hear him out. What say ye?
Have you done an insight check on him? But the man has been-
I have not done an insight check, but
No,
but just based off, off back, I can kind of tell something ain't right with this dude.
well, he's been following us and eyeing us for a long time. And you said with the helps are not to be trusted.
What kind of experience have you had? Wow, apparently I've got a good insight check, I guess. What is that? 18 plus. Oh, -1? Yeah, well, 17.
All right. Well, your insight tells you that he believes the elves will try to double cross him. That he is honest
Right.
in his belief that they will double cross him, and so you can probably figure that this is a dangerous little mission. That those 11 elves that he's gonna meet with or was supposed to meet with might if they look like there's an opportunity, they might take advantage.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But he seems to be telling the truth about all that.
Okay.
But he is hiding something, you can tell.
Right.
Like, he didn't tell you what exactly the exchange was for. It's for a package, and he wants to get it, but he didn't tell you what was in it or what it's about.
Right. And as mercenaries, it's not our job to ask. Although I'm not really used to. I'm more of a
I don't ever ask.
active military guy, although not anymore. So whatever that means.
Less questions, less headaches.
Yeah, he's not really sure what he is right now. Oren's not really sure where he stands in this whole issue of being a mercenary at this point, but he's willing to take coin. So as long as his compatriots are willing, because after all, he owes them a great debt at this point.
And he told you he's got money and you can negotiate your own price.
What do you say, Morg? Last time we were asked to follow some stranger in Eric. It was ended up being a trap.
Yeah, I want to pass on this.
Are you
We're
sure?
we're looking for something more specific, more pressing than a package deal.
What do you think, Oren? Do you think that this man might be trying to put us into a trap or get
He
us into
seems
trouble?
awfully untrustworthy. Like there's something else going on, and well, it always seems like the type of tasks handed out to mercenaries of the type that he thinks we are never totally above the belt, as it were. So I don't feel great about it myself. If you feel like we're going to pass on this, then I can abide.
Pass.
The dude abides.
All right. Well, the party continues. The revelry is still filling the streets everywhere. The sun is going lower on the horizon.
I tell him, I regret to inform you that our group has decided not to help you with this. But I wish you the best in your endeavors, old man.
All right. He seems nervous and disappointed. And he says, "What can I entice you with to get you to help me here? I really haven't met any other adventurers that looked strong enough to handle 11 elves. So, let's see. What has he got? He's going to implore that you help him, and he's going to offer to give you... hang on a second. He's going to offer to give you...
And what if he told us what he's looking for?
All right, hang on. Let me get a note card. He's got a backpack, and he's going to reach into the backpack, and he's going to start pulling some items out.
Do you think you would tell us what is the item that he's asking us to get her?
Well,
for?
now
Fire.
it can't be anything beyond which what we see, but.
All right. From his
want
backpack, he's
to-
going to produce this magic cola nut of supreme healing. It's worth 1,350 ceramic
We
pieces.
don't know that. We don't know that. Unless he tells us that.
Yeah, he's telling you. He's like, I have this. It is a magical cola nut of supreme healing. If you consume this, even a grievous wound will be healed miraculously. It's quite valuable, and he will sweeten the deal by giving this to you up front. In addition to whatever payment you ask.
And what kind of a man are you? Where do you come from?
What?
And he'll tell you that he is a simple merchant, that he is a blue-collar man of Nibenay, that he wishes only good things for the city, that he has no dealings with criminal elements. He's got no plans to harm anyone. His business is on the line, let's say. And he says,
Softly.
if everything goes as planned, there will not even be an issue. It is a simple exchange, and you can earn your payment probably within the next hour.
Hey, roll a 24 on
Within the
insight
hour.
about his character.
He's supposed to meet with the elves very soon, which is why he's quite insistent that he doesn't have time to wait for a different group of adventurers to come along.
Do it.
I'm good.
I
I'm
roll
in.
insight about his good character standing. I rolled a 24.
Okay. You try to intuit what his alignment is, and you feel like he is a good man. Like when he says that he wants to help the people of Nibenay and doesn't have any ill will towards anyone, he seems to be genuine.
Oh.
Someone pressed that rewind button by accident.
I think I clicked something on my keyboard and sorry.
Look, I don't know that part, but what I do know is my group doesn't want to, but this guy's very insistent and in need, it seems.
He does seem like a good guy. I just don't know how.
Amen.
That's quick.
He's
I am
convinced me a
curious
while.
where he gets such a fantastical healing nut. How he pays for it with
You're gonna
being
love
such
my
a
nuts.
simple merchant, man.
I was thinking of something and I stopped myself, but I'm glad you took that bait right there.
Slap chop. You're gonna love my nuts.
All right. Well, I am okay with. I guess it seems like a good deal at this point.
So you've changed into saying yes.
Yeah.
I wish we had psychic powers to be able to read his mind.
Yeah, wouldn't that be useful?
Yeah.
Don't I, as scions, have some ability to do that?
I think you have other abilities, but not that one.
It's like surface thoughts.
Yeah, I don't have any spells like that. That would
Plus,
help
if
with
we
that.
end up fighting, I don't mind fighting. Sort of itching for a fight.
Mm.
There you go. We can assist him. Maybe. Actually, sir, what about information? Would you be willing to pay us with some information?
Gladly.
Looking for people that were looking, maybe give us some indication of the people we're looking for.
If you help me with this matter, I will help you find the people you're looking for.
What do you say? What do you say, Orin and Morg?
We're gonna do an aside.
Whisper in your
We're
ear and
gonna
say,
do an
I don't
aside.
think it's a good idea if he's connected with the city and wants to do good things for the city. I don't think he wants to help us find
Agreed. He's already told us
those
his
kind of people
allegiance.
we're looking for.
No, he's the type. I've already tried to find out if he would be able to help us with that, and this is not the man we want to
And if he
make a
did
full
know,
acquaintance of.
if he did know about them already, I'm pretty sure he would have kind of reported them to the authorities.
He doesn't necessarily know our intentions. And we've been known to help the city as well. People know us a little bit, at least they might recognize him.
I mean, it's not about our intentions; it's about the Secret Alliance intentions, and they don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think information from this guy is actually.
No, but his money
That good.
appears to be good based on first glance.
Yeah, the money is good.
Okay, well, let's go to the house.
Okay. We have. Everybody agrees to go to the elves now, except for Soul. Soul's gone. Soul left his body.
All right, so this is the map. You go to start area A, which is in the corner right here. I'll put Soul on the map over here.
Okay, so hello.
Yeet.
Lag.
Let me start on the right side here, or
Start
Yeah,
area
there you
A
go.
right here.
Is this a new Taurus? New Taurus. Got a hammer.
Don't be surprised if this is a traps with these elves.
Oh yeah, no, we've already been warned that they might try to do something if they find it opportune to do so. I am on high alert.
Hey, look at this. Okay, so we took the package, right? And so we've got it, and the guy is gone, like off to himself or whatever.
Did anybody see what happened to Sia's figurine? I was moving it and it disappeared into the warp.
Found it.
You found it? All right, cool. We go onto the board or something?
It was just like on the other side over here.
It got launched, huh? All right.
On B.
Okay, cool. All right. So you're given a location, and you're given the bundle of medicinal herbs. So who's got the bundle of medicinal herbs? Who's gonna hold it?
I was ready to take it and
All right.
have a look at see what it was. I don't really have a whole lot of ability to appraise or knowledge nature what kind of herbs these might be. But while we are so you don't want to be there when this transaction takes place, sir?
No, he definitely doesn't want to be there. He doesn't trust those elves. They might try to attack.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna roll a nature check on what these herbs are. 18.
They look to be common herbs. They don't even look like they would have the properties that you've been told that they would have.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna pass them off to Grimorn. What do you what might you be able to make of this?
Herbs. What do you do? Well, I'm not a specialist.
He already. What did he pay us up front? He gave us that healing
Cola nut.
superior coconut healing thing, and how much money did he give us up front?
Okay, so he said, what amount of money would convince you to do this job? I have money, so it's up to you. How much are you asking? You get to haggle a little bit.
Okay, let's.
We can bargain when we have the item.
How about 5 gold to each of us? That's not way out of the ordinary?
You're
what would the economy
2,500 ceramic? Or you mean 5 ceramic pieces each?
No,
5 each,
gold.
you
I
said.
said gold. So
yeah.
gold
So
is.
you're basically asking for 2,500 ceramic pieces.
Oh, am I?
Because you said 5 gold each. That's worth 100. Gold is worth 100 ceramic.
Yeah.
25,000 or 2,500 ceramic. That's a lot of money.
Let's see what the item is.
The superior healing coconut thing is quite expensive.
Do you comment on the herbs as being?
So then a gold apiece then? What would be an appropriate, you think, thing? I need help with the economy of Athos here.
I was inspecting the herbs as we were already here, but I didn't know we were getting paid. I thought it was sort of agreed on what we were getting paid. But
so 5 gold each would be like 5 plat each. In standard Forgotten Realms. You said that the herbs are worth.
No, plat and standard is 10 gold. This is 100 times.
Even more.
Yeah.
Gold is worth a lot. Wait a second. If these are worth nothing, do you think that he is sending us to the elves to get into trouble with them?
I would assume so. Yes.
What if his goal was to have us kill all these elves? For him. Because he knows that we're probably strong enough for it.
That could be a case. He did seem like a good person. I don't know why he would hate the elves so much. But he does seem like he wants something good done for the city.
Yeah, that could
but
mean
I
a lot of
would
things.
take the super healing nut potion thing. and I would try to ask for 1 gold for each of us.
What if we has these helps?
And another 2 gold for each of us upon completion.
Ooh, okay.
That's if he agrees, right?
Is that reasonable? Or do I need to roll persuasion? Is that too high of a bargain?
So you want 5 gold now and 5 gold later.
Well, I asked for 5 gold now and the healing nut thing, and then I asked for 10 gold, like 2 for each of us, if we complete it.
All right, so 10 gold later plus the nut.
So it's like 3 gold each total.
Because he said he offered the nut up front, and as well as some form and payment earlier, unless he was trying to switch the coin payment out with the nut. But I am
not at all.
bargaining for
it was
both.
Extra incentive to get you to agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. That's gonna be 1500 CP and the nut. Yeah, he will agree to that. He will agree to that and tell you, here's the nut and here's 5. He gives you 50 silver coins. That's what he's got. He doesn't have gold, but he gives you 50 silver.
Okay.
I
inspected the herbs after we were sort of accepting the whole this was it bargaining thing was kind of retroactively happening. But yeah, so I would inspect the herbs when we get about here, and I would say these are more common than what he said. So the elves will probably get upset if they're expecting some different kind of herbs. So we're very likely going to get a fight if we're still actually going to go interact with them and actually try to do a deal.
Did you confront the seller with that information?
No.
No, you're just keeping that to yourself. All right.
We figured.
I'm assuming he already left somewhere else. You said.
We kind of discovered the value of the herbs after the fact, after we left the vendor.
And you said he moved off somewhere else to be safe somewhere else. And we have to find him
he's
later.
going to stay at the inn. He'll tell you which inn he's at. So once you've made the exchange, you can meet him at the inn. He'll be at the corner table.
I told the group I think we should confront the helps with up front as soon as we get there, and let them know that what is going on.
So you want to be honest with them?
Yeah, because frankly, this vendor, for him to give us worthless herbs to get a magical item or whatever it might be to go and insult the helps, I believe that he wants harm towards these elves.
Mm-hmm.
He's setting us for a trap.
So you want to sick the elves on this guy? You want to tell? You want to tell the elves what inn he's staying at?
Yeah, absolutely, and see what the elves have to offer, and try to understand why they might be enemy with that man.
Will you ask? Should we ask them for the package for their vengeance?
Well, we could ask what the package is.
Okay.
As well. But I think getting into a fight with a bunch of elf in a city that is not ours might get us in trouble. Might get us into trouble, and frankly, why should we start killing people in the city for a complete stranger?
I don't know. You killed some air priests earlier. Last time we were here.
That's different.
I'm of the same idea. Blood doesn't need to be spilt just for coin. I am definitely on board with that sign of philosophy here.
We could also just walk away with the upfront payment, since it's clearly not exactly.
That is not a man of honor. Come on.
Well, this transaction isn't very forthright either.
Well, we haven't figured it out yet. We might want to go and talk to the helps. And frankly, we're looking for people with information. And if there are some scummy people that likes to hide secrets are the helps, they might actually know about where we might find the Vale Alliance in the city.
Okay.
I don't know. We shouldn't just give away or not. We should take a chance and see what we can get out of them.
What do you think, Taurus? What's your opinion, big guy?
I'm in.
In for what plan?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I've been doing mercenary work the whole time, so my character is he's willing to do whatever as long as he gets paid for this stuff and as long as we're doing the right thing.
The situation seems quite gray. I wouldn't assume to know what is the right thing in this situation.
In a worst case scenario, we'll have to defend ourselves.
Right. Well, if you want to go and talk, we can go talk. Let's. And I think it's better to go as a group because I don't want them seeing us as like one person and 11 elves and them wanting to steamroll you as you just try to talk by yourself.
What are we doing?
No, we should go
Right.
all together.
Yeah.
And Oren, you can decide what you want to do if you want to.
What do you do?
If you want to go discreet,
you're taking care of it.
in a discreet way, or just in case something happens, or if you want to join the group.
Sure, I will hang around the outskirts.
Can I see the elves from here?
All right. When you move into the alley, you'll see the group of elves. They're in the agreed meeting place.
You might want to move your character on.
I will walk up a little bit closer to the end of the alleyway.
It's basically a small horde of
I'll
elves.
be right behind.
Creus, you're going to notice that you're being watched from above. On the rooftops, there are several additional elves that are
How
sneaking.
tall are the roofs?
The roofs are probably like 30, 35 feet, something like that.
Are there more elves than initially discussed?
Can I climb up on...
Nah, it's about the amount of the amount of elves you were told to expect.
Like 11 of them.
I look at Sia, I say, come here. And I want to boost him up onto the roof.
When you enter into the alleyway, the front elf is going to hold out a burlap sack and say, "We have the item. Do you have our payment?"
Sia, are you there?
He's not.
Do you hear me?
He had to leave.
No, he left like half an hour ago.
I'll boost him up here anyways. So he can get a view for us.
You want to put him on the roof?
Yeah.
All right.
And what do we owe you for this price?
It's an exchange. Where's our greed on herbs?
What kind of herbs were you looking for?
They're medicinal herbs. They were promised to have specific properties. We'll have to test one to be sure it is as promised before we agree to hand over this precious object here.
We have these herbs. We were given these herbs from this man, this vendor. But unfortunately, my friend here believes that they are not what you're looking for.
What do you mean?
We're not here to cause some trouble. We're concerned that we might be put in a position where we're forced to fight you.
Well, we were told what the herbs were supposed to do, which I'm assuming that's what you were looking for, the specific properties. And from what I could tell by looking at the herbs after we were sent on our way to go meet up with you guys, I inspected the herbs more closely, and they don't seem to be very special. They seem to be common medical remedy herbs. than anything else.
The elf will sniff in anger and say, "We were promised these would have magical properties."
Do you have? Is there someone that is quite sick in your group?
All right. One of the elves is going to cast a detect magic. Are you holding the leaves?
Yes.
She's going to say, "They do appear to be glowing," and the other elf says, "They have the glow. Are they enchanted as promised? Are they or are they not? Do not fuck with us. We will not take it lightly."
We're not aware.
Whoa! Whoa!
They don't have any kind of
Jesus,
detective
calm
magic.
down.
Yeah, elves that curse? What is going on here?
They're dark sun.
When they get upset, I just I
Right.
step up. I just want to push my way through just a little bit and just be like, guys, calm down. Just calm down a little bit. There's nothing to worry about. We're gonna figure this all out.
Well, this elf did say that they do have the magic glow they were expecting. So.
Well, I'll do detect magic, and what do I see?
You can see there's some kind of spell placed on these mundane leaves that give it a different property.
Does it look cursed or?
No, it's not glowing red. It's glowing a soft blue color. Seems to be a minor enchantment of some kind.
Okay. Well, they seem to be enchanted. They might look mundane, but we really don't know what they are. And I want you to understand that we can't promise you what they will do. But we don't want any harm with your group here.
The elf nods and says, "Give them here. We'll try one to be sure they work."
Is there someone in your group that is sick? I might be able to assist.
No, we are all healthy elves. We have traveled long across the great dunes at a good run, faster than humans could manage.
I will give them one of the leaves to test. Here's your sample.
All right, she hands it off to this elf here, who consumes the leaf. And then she smiles and says, "It is as we were promised." The elf nods. The lead elf, she nods, and she says, "It is good then. Take your prize." And she hands the sack to Morg here.
Inspect what's inside it. What is it?
Okay, you open the sack, revealing what appears to be a rather large crystal. Just then, an alarm, like a bugle, goes off, and a number of Templars jump out from the alleyways nearby, and combat begins. So everybody's going to have to roll some initiative. We should probably not do it this week. It's already midnight. We'll save that for next week. But basically, Templars are raiding this meeting because the exchange that was just made was for the Vale Alliance crystal that you were told about earlier. And it's a real hot item. Possession of it is super illegal, and the Templars have been trying to track down the Vale Alliance, and these elves were going to draw them out. So now they think you are the Vale Alliance, and they're going to try to kill you.
Oh, are the elves? The
elves are?
You fucking elves.
The elves don't want anything to do with this, and are all going to try to run the hell away immediately. So the elves scatter, the Templars attack, and you guys are caught right in the middle, and that's where we're going to start next week when we pick up in Dark Sun.
You bastards, what'd you give us?
Freaking trap.
All right, so that's very exciting. You guys are thrown right into the mix. You'll be right into combat when we start.
Wait, hold on. So they snuck up on us. Orin didn't see them coming. Thea up top didn't see them coming.
If one of you had a detect invisibility going, you'd be able to see the invisible Templars that were on the surrounding rooftops.
Wait, we had detect magic. Don't you see?
Not if it's invisible. You don't see a thing if it's invisible.
If they're using magical means to become invisible, don't they glow?
No. I like that way of doing things.
And then you got Soul, who's
Otherwise,
actually
invisible is supplanted by dark magic.
I know, right? There's a spell for it for a reason. It's a totally different thing.
And poor Soul, he's stuck on his own on the roof.
Yep.
Good job.
I'll probably start them on some of these other roofs further out, so they'll be like on this building and this building here when they start. So he's okay. He's in a good spot. He's got the high
Well,
ground.
you know, there you go. We're gonna be enemies of Uric and Nibenay now.
Well, maybe if you kill all the Templars that are about to ambush you, there will be no witnesses and you'll get away with it.
Yeah, I guess.
Just don't leave any witnesses and you'll be all right.
Yeah, guys. We got a plan. Kill them all.
Kill them all. All right. So that'll all be very exciting. I'm going to end the stream there. Thanks for watching out there in Twitch land. We had a couple viewers. We had people that commented. We had Joe DeFrogman and Gruel Notarog was here again. 11 little elf
Returning
packages.
viewers.
It's an 11 elf gangbang. Oh no. All right. That's all for Twitch.